We are now live. Okay, so on the off chance that anybody is actually watching, what is going on here is this is a run of the day at the fair scenario for my Divine Blood role-playing game, and I'm running it with 3 new players who have had minimal Fate experience, and I hope I don't mess up Fate for them, and no experience with my setting, and I hope I don't mess up my setting for them. But let's go ahead. You've all read the backstories of the characters you ended up with. Let's go in order of that your avatars appear to me on the screen. We'll start with Scott. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Scott, and I will be playing Leah Killian, the activist cheerleader team captain. Everybody needs an activist on their team.
Okay, and Kai?
Hi, my name is Kai, and I'm playing Chei Green, the bulky outcast of the crew, who somehow got stuck with some popular people.
Okay.
Hi.
And do I go by your real name here or by your screen name on the Discord?
Screen name, probably.
Sure.
If anybody's gonna.
Okay. Okay, and let me go ahead and move something real quick. I can't hide it. Let me see if I can make the avatars go away.
I mean, it's not a big deal either way.
Okay. Well, anyway, this is Cho. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Chovexani on everything, and I'm playing a guy for once. I am William Brasco, and I am apparently a friendly pretty boy, which is pretty cool. People that know William know that there's something a little different about William, but they can't exactly place what's different.
Okay, and the scenario is we're going to start a day before the actual scenario, because at first we want to do is the 3 of you are going to be responsible for one of the booths at the school's annual fundraising fair. And there is, of course, a reward at the end of the day for who has the best, who wins different categories of best booth, like most money earned or most popular booth or whatever. So there's usually some competition between booths about what they want to do. And the first part of this scenario is figuring out what kind of booth you want to run and then setting it up. And as you see here, I have some squares. The reds, and I just made an orange square by accident. The red square, the red squares are my fate points as GM. The other squares over here are the fate points for the characters. Chei has a lot more, has more extra points that he spent, so he has less fate points. Same with William and Leah have about normal abilities spent, and so they have more normal. But William spent a little bit more points and somehow has 1 less fate point. Not sure how that happened mathematically, the way character creation works, but I'm not going to get into it. That's something for me to look at later. In any case, you are assumed that you guys are going to be part of one booth. Can I ask, is this a class booth or is this some sort of club you're all part of?
I mean, I was thinking club because it's 2 popular people and a muscle. You wouldn't expect them to work in a class, and they'd only really work together if they were like forced in a club that they all enjoyed.
Okay.
That could work, yeah.
But what would they have in common to be in a club about? Because I think that might influence.
Indeed.
Well, I mean, you have a popular lad, a muscle person, and a cheerleader. Cheerleader's probably going to, I don't know, cheer on the muscle, and the popular person, the muscle's probably going to get left behind for something. So, I don't know,
bike maybe, or something to do with muscles that will keep
Some
cheering.
sort of athletic thing, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm reading that Leah likes to run and also is thinks it's important that people don't realize cheerleading is actually a sport. So maybe she decided to do some other sporting type thing to bring attention to that somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, you could. It could definitely be. I mean, Chei is pretty much a martial artist. It could definitely be some sort of martial arts movie club or something, or martial arts club. William isn't so much into that kind of thing, but I could see him liking watching stuff and hanging out, if that's okay with Cho.
You know, like maybe like okay, so you know how you have to have extracurriculars to put on your like college apps and all that.
Yes, and William is an aspiring businessman. Go on.
Right. So I mean, like, I'm definitely going to be like, I need to have the best resume for, I don't know, whatever the best business school is. So yeah. So like, I'm probably in a couple of clubs that I don't have that much real interest in, but I think will look good.
Okay. So this is the cheerleader and Chei in the martial arts club, and William here because resume. Is what we're saying?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe we're like the recruiting team for the martial arts club. Like there are more people that would be in it normally, but we're the ones running the booth because Chei's really strong and can demonstrate all the moves, and the other two of us are the pretty faces.
I somehow feel like my IRL self right now we're doing mush.
Oh. But you get to show off all the good moves though, so that's kind of cool.
So you want
Yeah, no, actually.
Yeah. So do you want your booth to be kind of a performance or demonstration thing of the martial arts stuff?
And it's like, hey, we meet on Thursdays. Come join us, or whatever.
Yeah, and like I can see like William probably like printed out little brochures or something in the office, like listing all the pros of why you should be in this club, you know?
Well, only one con, your ass will be walloped by shit. Because you would.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that I think will come to our first challenge. So, for printing off brochures, we'll see what the other two are going to be demonstrating too. Because the way I do challenge multiple people doing challenges at a time is I have everybody do one step of their particular challenge, and then like we're doing turns of combat. That way, I don't have one person doing a lot and everybody else sitting off to the side. So, what would Chei and Leah be doing while William is getting printing off brochures?
Maybe setting up the booth itself, like putting.
I feel like Chei would either be practicing the martial art moves he's going to demonstrate, or helping set up the booth.
I think probably somebody needs to do the choreography, and we can assume you're all kind of helping out with setting up the booth, but somebody's going to take the lead on the roles.
Okay.
Yeah. So, fight choreography, and I'm going to set up that challenge here in a moment. Let's see.
Yeah, and we'd probably both be relatively good at that because Leah's used to doing choreography stuff for cheerleading, and she actually knows how to fight.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, you can both work on the fight choreography. The way it can work is I could. One thing I do with my regular things is I'll give people a chance to do a maneuver to help whoever's on point, so that they might have things they can take advantage of to make it easier. Um, so we'll see about that in a moment. And then building the booth. So we could actually have all three of you building the booth.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. Craft, resources. Um, and what the hell? Empathy, because reading people and knowing what will attract the eye. Okay. So we're going to do this a little bit different. Each of you, we're going to do simple because, like I said, I usually I go with my players being able to do help other people type roles on each of the roles. We're going to do this simple. We're just going to have everybody taking part in these three things if you want, like printing off the brochures. Who wants to do which part of actually, do we want to start with the fight choreography or building the booth first, or do the printing the brochures first?
I think like building the booth first, because if we don't have a booth, then the rest of it's for no reason at all anyway. So
This is
Yeah.
true. Okay, so who wants to take the lead on crafting? This is actually the physical build.
I think that would be the safest possibly for me, being more able to do stuff. I don't really know compared to you guys, but I definitely think Chei would be best on that.
And I think you're probably right.
is it like meta to share your
Well, I mean, I can look at the sheets.
like your
And
stats?
have a look.
I don't consider it meta to share stats, no. I figure you guys are fairly familiar with each other. You know what your things is. None of Leah isn't particularly good at building stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and William are about the same pay, so it's either one of us two that wants to do it. Doesn't really make much.
Though you are also stronger, so you have some
Yeah.
you have some aspects that would probably make. I determine difficulty level based on what the aspects people have are. So William would likely be rolling on a higher
Yeah.
difficulty than you.
Yeah, so mine, it might be a bit easier for me to
Alright.
do it.
That makes sense.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the fate dice +2. And hope you don't get a horrible roll like my test roll there. Speaking of which, now
Not good.
you have a couple options because fate's a little bit different than most. The roll itself does not actually determine success. The roll itself comes in the middle. The roll is that last point where you're still able to make an effect on things. It just determines what the cost of success is going to be. Now you can fail at this. The overall, you can get a failure on this. The overall success of building the booth will be determined by the overall by how well you succeed on the overall challenge. So if the other two succeed fairly well, it would still be a good booth. You can fail on this. You can succeed with cost, which will give you which will create a complication, which could come up later, almost definitely. Or you can spend a fate point on something to get a reroll or a +2. Given you have a -3, a reroll would be better. Usually.
Mm-hmm.
So you have things like low-income thug, get out of the trap, never had much money, so you're used to work. So you spend a fate point to invoke any one of those because you're used to work and get a reroll. Or you only have 2 fate points though they come back. If something inconvenient happens, you get fate points back. kind of like story points in Eric's TBD. This is
Yeah.
If you've never had much money, you know how to jerry rigs and stuff. Like,
Yeah. I'm thinking that I might go into my background aspect.
okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
In which case, go ahead and roll again, and I'm going to take one of your fate points off. Yeah, that is a success. It's not
That's
quite.
better.
It's not
It's a lot better.
Yeah, that's not quite a success with style because the difficulty was 3, but it's definitely a success. Okay, so that is success. Who wants to take the resources? And I think I know who that's going to be.
I have some resources, so.
Oh, right, nobody's playing the rich girl.
No, we've got a poor person instead.
See, yeah, we were about even on resources.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were even in that.
And I'm like, William, like, okay, you know, you have to spend money to make money, man. Like,
William
I don't
again
think
has
a problem fronting this.
Yeah, William again has the better aspects for a lower difficulty.
Yeah.
It's going to be it'll likely be like a difficulty 3 for William, maybe a difficulty 4 for Leah.
All right, so I'll do this one.
Yep.
All right. Is it / roll? I don't remember. It's one of my
Or just /R works too.
/R. Yeah.
And then plus whatever your score is. Yeah.
You rolled 1d4 instead, so roll 4df.
Oh, geez, sorry.
No problem.
It's okay.
There's a space.
What?
Between the R and the equation.
Yes, there's a space. There's a space.
I think I had it right this time.
Yes, you do. That is a
Okay.
success. That is a tie,
Yay.
actually. Now, a tie is going to have a very minor difficulty attached to it. It's like a because you succeed, but there is some sort of difficulty on hand. It will probably be something that pops up later on, but you can, however, spend one of your fate points to push it up to a full
That's
success.
good.
I'm sorry?
Do realize
I would.
if you do a tie, there will be a very, very minor complication. Something more for flavor, a little bit of bump in the road.
Right.
If you spend a fate
Well,
point,
I mean,
go on.
I was just like, I don't have that high of a resource score, and I don't feel like a fair booth is going to be something that I would put all of my dash into. So,
Got it.
like,
Okay.
that there feels authentic, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's so much.
We're so agreeable.
Yeah. Right, so that puts cheerleader on empathy.
That
Which
puts
probably
cheerleader
makes
on
sense.
empathy. Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of Leah's thing. Empathy to a fault.
Activist cheerleader, so definitely.
Okay, so that is +2 for me.
And that is a full-out success.
Nice.
So you have aside from the fact that the materials are a little bit cheaper and that might get noticed, or that might be a problem if somebody gets a little bit out of hand and accidentally kicks the booth or something.
I'm not going to do that. Looks like.
You found some lumber in the clearance aisle.
Yeah, for sure. You got to bargain. You know, you can't just do peaceful place for anything.
You have a low-income thug who never had much money. Any materials filled with is better than nothing.
Sounds legit.
Yeah. Okay. So now I think it's probably again going on to the fight choreography. There's three things here. Craft is put in there again because they include things like poetry and that in as craft, which makes me think I probably should have given Leah more craft as a cheerleader. Yeah, or at least the artist's advantage as cheerleader, but that's a problem for another day. Sorry.
I can take lead on agility, though. I'm pretty good at that.
Yes, you can. And persuasion, actually. No, your persuasion is decent. Yeah, you actually have agility is pretty good. Then you have craft and persuasion. Which
You're pretty good in like nearly all of them.
I feel like my craft kind of lends itself to this because like I can make it look better.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, and actually, I would even let you throw it if you want to use the illusions. I'll even let you throw in the artist illusions because I imagine. Actually, I'll save that for printing off the brochures.
Okay.
Yeah. And so craft for William, who is doing persuasion.
I guess I'll do persuasion because then Leah can do agility.
Yeah, just curious. Out of curiosity, Chei is doing persuasion. Are you? Because persuasion includes intimidation. Are you?
That's what I was thinking.
I'm going to intimidate them all.
You're going to make
You must join our club, rah!
Your fight choreography is going to be a show of strength. Got it.
So aggro.
Okay.
You need to learn how to do this, or else he's gonna do this to you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I focused on the technical aspects of how everything goes, and he's actually doing the fight moves to the best of his ability. And William's like, guys, it would look better if you did this.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead. Let's roll for agility first. So Leah.
Okay, that is +3.
It is.
Yes.
And that is a full success. It is one off of success with style.
Dope.
Okay, and craft for William.
Okay. I'm just gonna make sure I'm on the right thing. Okay, and you said we're gonna put the illusion onto the
Onto the brochures because right now you're doing the choreography. You're not adding
Yeah.
the actual illusions in yet.
Okay.
Illusions would more come into the performance once we're actually at the fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure that right thing.
William's in charge of our pyro.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Their special effects are so awesome. How do they manage it? It's like magic.
Which is that cool.
Come to our club and you too could be in a real life anime.
Yep, legit.
I just feel like Chei's most big thing is just giant shrugging. Just like giant.
And there you go. That is a full success. Okay. And on to persuasion, which is Chei, making this as much a display of strength as possible. Shrug your way into victory.
I'm presuming I'm just adding to 2.
Yeah. That is a tie.
I'm going to leave it as a tie.
Okay, then I add another little. The reason I put those in parentheses is because they are what Strands of Fate would call fragile. They go away once used, and they're pretty easy to get rid of before they get used against you. So I put them in parentheses so that they're not as sticky as a full aspect.
Okay.
They're called boosts in Strands of Fate. Okay, so printing off brochures. I think we know craft is going towards the William because we talked about illusions.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's doing resources and persuasion?
I think it'd be safer if I did persuasion because I have a 1 in resources.
Okay, that works. Because they're both the same for me. So,
Yeah.
Okay, William. With your bonus for illusions, go ahead. That's a tie. Do you want to leave it as a tie?
Like probably not. If this is my part of our little project, I don't want to have it be the suck part, so I'd probably put something into it if I could.
Okay, you can spend a fate point on, well, either the Foxfire images or one of the other things related to your supernatural abilities.
I mean, I have to check what they are because yeah, I didn't know.
You have two. You have natural born, half-kitsune, and you have Foxfire images. Either one of those can be.
Okay.
You can actually invoke your inferior skill aspect as well. But
Which one is that?
Volpine
Okay.
cast of thoughts because this relates to.
Yeah. That sounds right. That feels right.
Okay. So yeah, because it is an inferior thing, it's supposed to be that people there's something a little bit tricksy about you that puts people off. That's why that's an inferior. But it's still a thing that you have. That's still a thing you can use to your benefit sometimes. So go ahead. You can either add +2, which will make it a full success, or you can try for a reroll. I'm going to tell you right now, if you try for a reroll, statistically, statistically, it's not going to be all that great.
All right, I'll just go for the success.
The statistically, if you're at a -2, statistically, a reroll will get you better than a +2, spinning for a +2. Statistically, there's still the chance you'll roll worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I can update my avatar picture.
You have to do it from the home page. That's not easy. It's a. I have the little pink things, or yeah, the pink fractal images. Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to open another tab if it was just Roll20 and do it from there.
Yeah. Okay, Chei, go ahead and go towards persuasion.
Yes.
Wow, that is. Yeah, that is rude.
Here for untapped artistic skills, making these brochures.
Yeah, and resources.
Alrighty, that is +2 for me.
And Leah's an activist. She knows where to go for copy.
We'll just use the same place we print all my leaflets, guys. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So, would you like to succeed with costs? Would you like to spend one of your many fate points? Spending a fate point for a +2 would get you to a tie.
Okay. I might try for a reroll, actually. So
okay.
It's sort of.
It is risky at this point, but yeah. You can spend more than one fate point as well. It's just. Go ahead and roll for the re-roll then. And you have to spend a fate point on one of your aspects, but you have the activist one, as we already suggested. So
Yeah, that probably makes the most sense because my cheer uniform isn't really going to help in this case.
yeah. When you spend a fate point, you have to tie it to an aspect. It's either on you or the scene or the thing you're affecting. So.
Mhm. Okay, well, let's try this again.
Oh,
Oh, that was worse.
That is a risk. Okay.
Yep.
You have already used the activist thing. You can still spend other fate points if you want, or you can succeed with cost, or you can let it fail. In which case, this will be 2 successes and a failure.
Hmm. And what does the cost bring in? It's a little bit more than the ties we've gotten before.
Yeah, the cost will bring in some a more lingering difficulty.
Hmm.
They'll charge you more every time you go in their belief books now.
I think I will not worry about it and let this fail because it's not the part of it that Leah's the most concerned with.
Okay.
So,
In which case, what happens is, after some reasonable success in building the booth and getting the choreography done, Leah takes your layout, your digital layout to the print copy place, and unfortunately finds that the person she's usually there that helps her out and gives her a little discount or such isn't there, and she has to lay out more money than she originally thought. So for the rest of this scenario, Leah, you are strapped for cash.
okay.
That's going to be a social consequence. I'm going to call it a minor one.
Okay.
Okay. Because it's not like you're really, really hurting. You didn't spend that much money, and it's not really hurting your reputation too much. But you're going to be low on funds for doing stuff in the thing. Okay.
Like if we all go out afterward to buy like snacks or something, you're gonna have to bum a soda off somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
To wait a few more days before my allowance.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a 1D. Somebody roll 1D3.
on it.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so the teacher in charge of looking at you guys is one Timon Brandon. He has a reputation for being a laid-back kind of teacher. He doesn't really pay attention. He's very lackadaisical. He's most known for being able to disappear from staff meetings without anybody realizing.
Oh, this is perfect for us.
I'd fire that guy so fast.
So he kind of wanders in occasionally, say, "Hey, are you guys doing okay in here? Oh, looks good." Kind of looks in for about 5 seconds before you open your mouth, and I guess you guys might try to say something, and he's already moving out of the door.
No,
I go and smoke a tube in the hallway.
I just imagine Shay's got to the point where he knows what the teacher's like, so he just sticks a thumb up as soon as the teacher enters.
Actually, we could use some. Never mind.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
So as you're working, you do. I've heard that this year there's going to be reporters at the. There is going to be some reporters at the thing. There is reporters at the fair every year. That looks like there's just the newspaper and the TV show come to do standard come in bring in the human interest type stories for the local area. Because this school's in a weird position where there are rich people and poor people attending at the same time, so it kind of gets ripe for people showing up to do human interest stories. And while you're kind of talking about that, you get a knock on the door, and in peeks her head one Jess Cara. She's one of the popular girls. She is considered the perfect girl next door, and pretty much everybody likes her. It's like, hey, we're running low on duct tape. Does anybody know? Do you have any we can borrow?
Do we have to?
That's a question. It's like,
I don't know.
it's like let me go ahead and roll a resource. Somebody roll resources real quick.
There's all better resources than me. Few smart ones, but
And that is William. Okay. Yeah, you have like very minimal bit of like the last remnants of a roll. You guys have been so strapped on resources this entire build. That's where you've had most of your problems.
Right.
Mhm.
It's like
because we're working with a ball a lot.
it's like you have maybe enough for there's maybe 3 feet left on the roll.
So I like hold up this like scrawny little roll of like barely there duct tape, and I'm like, I mean, hey cutie, we have this. I mean, and you're welcome to it if it'll help you out.
She kind of gives a disappointed sigh, moves over, and kind of takes, well, thank you. And go ahead, everybody, please roll willpower real quick.
Okay.
Maybe it's actually pretty good at that.
Oh, come on.
I'm betting I don't have any kind of boost for willpower. I don't feel like a power kind of guy.
Mine depends on
Oh wait,
what type, because I do have one thing for willpower. That's whether I'm not getting feared or not, but I think I am.
See, the 2 and the 3 were willpower, right? Or
Yes.
was the 2 was the resources. So, Cho, go ahead and roll your willpower real quick.
okay. I'm just like wondering if like one of my advantages would come into play.
Which one is this?
Well, I'm thinking either the striking looks or first impressionist. Just because like if somebody's like got a thing for me, then they're gonna be more busy trying to resist me than you resist them, kind of thing.
Right. Okay. You want to do this as persuasion, right? For what this is, that might not pull in because what this is, she doesn't really know she's doing it.
Okay, cool with it.
Does this have anything that could use fearless in?
Yes, actually, fearless would add in, so you get your +2.
Okay, add 2 to mine.
Yeah.
So I'm at a 4.
Yeah.
2.
There, all of you kind of feel very briefly a kind of a wave of what feels like repressed panic. All of you have been in conditions before where you're trying not to show how upset and afraid of something you are and try to repress it. This feels like that, but it doesn't feel like it's coming from you. It just suddenly was there, and then it's gone because it's very brief, and she only rolled a 1.
Like, do we have anything else at our table that could work with the duct tape to help?
Go ahead and give me a quick craft roll, see if you can, or a reasoning roll. That would work too.
Do I have more? They're both the same. Okay.
I'll try a reasoning one because I'm better at that.
Yeah, reasoning gets used for a lot of maneuvers, and hey. Okay, so Leah knows a little bit of workaround for different projects she's done, or you're working with cheerleaders where when they've run out of duct tape, it's like duct tape's usually what they go to a workaround, but when they run out of duct tape, they have to do a workaround for their workaround. So go ahead and you can give her some suggestions. And as you're talking to her, you kind of notice, let me see real quick. Yeah, you kind of notice that she goes up and kind of brushes at her nose a little bit, and give me a quick perception roll, everybody. But while Leah is helping out, and Leah and William are helping out.
Okay.
Right,
William's distracted by something.
yeah, maybe it's the cute, popular chick that's right here who needs my help.
Yeah. You're a flirt. Yeah. William's a flirty bisexual guy. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Leah and Chei, you both notice she brushes at a kind of a nosebleed. She doesn't even really aware of it. She just kind of, feels that there's, a runny nose and kind of absentmindedly brushes and then pulls away. But she has a little bit of blood running out of her nose for a little bit. And then it doesn't seem to last very long. It's just very minor. But yeah, it's like, oh, thank you so much. I got to get going.
Do I have a handkerchief or a rag that I could give to her?
Oh, definitely.
Then I give her the rag. I hand it over to her, saying nothing, just hand it over to her.
Give me a quick empathy roll.
Oh, goody. It's a 2.
And so as he hands over this tissue, I'm kind of looking over at him. I'm like, brow wiggle, yeah, I see you, dog. I see you.
Oh,
Okay. So in that case, there was no downside to it. There's no upside either, unfortunately. It's like, oh, thank you. And she doesn't seem to notice still. I mean, she pulls it away. She thanks you and say, oh, thank you so much, and brushes at her nose I'm kind of sorry. It's just, I guess I have a cold or something. And is starting to leave the room before she realizes that her nose was bleeding real quick.
And do I notice that, once that she wiped it and gotten blood on this, rag, or?
Yes, you do.
Okay. But it's it's a small thing. It's not anything medical, life-threatening.
No, it just looks like a kind of a nosebleed. People, kind of too much stress is what you would think.
Okay. All right. I think I would kind of call out after and be like, hey, it's just a fair, relax, right. Okay? And we'll go out after.
Yep. Okay, right. Thank you.
See ya.
Okay.
My bad boy is it influence women when this is you.
Do you either of you mention the blood, the nosebleed at all?
Nope.
I mean, if I think you could stress, I'm not saying.
Okay. what do you do with the handkerchief?
I don't. I would have like expected her to keep it.
Oh, you would let her keep it. Okay, cool. No problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
because like that's what I've seen his dad do at some point when he was probably younger.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right, no problem. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next day. I'm going to keep this map over here as a record of fate points real quick for the moment. And it is now the day of the fair. And you guys should have changed, and I need to change myself too. It is about, we'll say, 9 o'clock in the morning. People are starting to get things built together. You have your booth built and everything. What are your going? Now you can have somebody manning the booth at any given time, and people wandering about looking at. You assume there are other members of your club besides just the three of you. You're just the ones that I'm going to be focusing on. What are you three doing at the start of this point?
stretching for doing demonstrations.
Okay,
Does our club
go on.
have like gi or anything?
I would think so for martial arts.
You would probably they'd probably have some sort of uniform or gi or kung fu outfit or something along those lines. At least you probably have put something together for this event.
Okay.
I just can't imagine Chei coming in with his martial art gi that he's had since he started doing martial arts as a young person, and just came in wearing it, and it's like really short, like knees, and like halfway up the part of his arm. And it's almost like a t-shirt and shorts, but it's actually supposed to be a proper gi, and he just hasn't had money to get in.
Oh.
Out of curiosity, what kind of martial arts does Chei practice and Leah practice? Is it the same one, or they practice different styles?
Considering the one that I know is karate, I'd say Chei probably does karate. I don't know what Leah would do.
Okay.
I don't know. They could probably do the same thing. They probably have different focuses and stuff, but
There are a number of different kinds of karate too, so.
yeah.
I know some karate because I'm basic.
There's also Wuxia, which is sort of the performance kung fu stuff that the Chinese government did. But anyway,
That's what William would probably bother to learn one day.
yeah,
When it looks good.
Chun-Li's style in Street Fighter is supposed to be Wuxia. Okay, so
I would guess that Leah is like doing the sort of a carnival barker announcement thing, trying to get people to come over and look at their booth.
okay,
Legit.
Being a cheerleader.
yep. Okay, and what is William doing?
Okay, so even though I barely ever do any of the karate stuff or anything, I definitely have a gi and it looks brand new because I don't do shit in it. So I'm like trying to primp up a little bit, make sure I look good, make sure my hair is looking good, and then I just either I stretch in front of the booth and do it like super provocatively and I'm like totally hot doing it, or I think I am anyway, or I'm like kind of like posing near it and like giving people like the come hither eye, like, hey, you totally want to come talk to me, so come check out our booth kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining you doing like the stretches wrong, and there's just Chei behind you doing the stretches but face palming at the same time.
Yeah,
how
yeah.
bad you're doing them.
That sounds legit.
I can imagine sharing a look with Leah.
Yeah. Like us two looking and looking at William, just no.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, why did we even let this kid in the group? Like,
Yeah, he's not even doing it right. Just no.
Like, oh, William, you want to put your arm a little more over that way? Like, yeah, that's it.
that
You got it.
hides my
Sure.
face,
That's,
so,
yeah.
I mean,
You gotta reach for your toes, mate. Reach for your toes sometimes.
yeah, alright, that'll show off my butt better. Okay, cool, yeah.
Oh god.
I like the fact that the cheerleaders here and the prettiest person is the would-be businessman.
Yeah.
And then this is the freaking
Yeah.
bug who's just
She's
like
pretty, but he sparkles.
putting them in place. The bug is like, no, you're doing it so wrong. Why are you completely messing up my image? Why are you doing this? Please stop. That's Chei. That's Chei right now. She's like, please stop. No.
Okay.
No.
So as you're doing this, you're kind of seeing, you see Jennifer Summers, she's the captain of the school swim team, walking by, and kind of getting harassed, following her is Clint Fairbolg and some of his little crew of gang people just kind of harassing her. So I hear swim team's doing a dunk take. How's that for you, Deep One? Huh? William, by the way, you would know Deep One is, you would know Jennifer is a Lemurian. And
Okay.
Deep One is what they used to call themselves before Lovecraft, and it's now considered a slur.
A slur. Yeah. My first instinct is to go over there and help, but I'm just checking my character to kind of make sure that that's not totally against type. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we need like 1 second to just kind of.
At any rate, it is obvious that he is not welcome because Jennifer's just seething.
Right.
I feel
Now,
like
Leah would probably not respond well to that either. She's all about the justice for the underdog.
yeah, I kind of feel like with Chei being part of Thugs and seeing Clinton doing this is just like, you give us a bad name, mate. Seriously, stop.
Plus, you might know Clint's mother. She's a very nice lady that runs a bakery.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I know your mum, mate. You just know. He's all thinking this. He's doing nothing. He's just blank face staring. But instead he's just like, no, please stop.
Leah would probably storm over and do the full name thing.
Clinton Margrave, you know better.
Fairbold.
What would your mother say?
Are you going to go ahead and do the what would your mother say?
Am
Sure,
I?
that would work.
Leah? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Leah, go ahead and give me a quick persuasion roll real quick.
Okay.
Please end well, please.
Do any of my persuasion aspects feed into that, or just the straight +2?
Well, the persuasion aspects would feed into it. You generally have to spend a fate point to activate them. I use them to reduce. I use them to unless you to get a bonus on a roll, you spend a fate point, unless they're persistent.
Okay.
I
I will start with the straight roll and see how that goes.
The passive effect is they reduce difficulties on some things and they make some things possible. Okay, let's see what he does.
I like to point out, like, when Lee goes over there, I like use that distraction to kind of try and get. Was it Jen?
Jess is off on her own booth, but right now she's off on her own booth. But you can use that distraction to leave. Is this this is William talking, right? Making sure I got the right person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Like, the person that's getting picked on, I try to like lead them away, like over to our
Jennifer. Right. Okay. Go ahead.
Like,
give me a deception roll then.
Deception.
Yeah, because social stealth is deception. So he turns around and it's like, what are you looking at me for? I mean, what do you mean, what would my mom say? My mom is an embarrassment.
You know deep one's a slur. You don't say that to people.
And the funny thing about this is if Leah might not know precisely why it's a slur, just know it is a slur from hanging out with William.
Like every time that word comes up, like William just kind of like looks at the person and just gives him like the shittiest fucking look. Yeah.
I just like the muscle of the entire group was just standing at the back, said nothing. Just not even interacting with us in a minute.
Okay. I'm doing I'm trying to track stress points for him right now.
No worries. You have more stuff to do than the rest of us.
Yep.
Social stress. This is mental stress. There we go. Okay. Okay, because you did 2 stress to him. It's like, what? Yeah, yeah. Come on. What does it matter? I mean, it's nothing. That's what they use. What do you know about being deep ones anyway? And that was a 2, and he's distracted. He is distracted, so give him a luck roll. That's a tie. He kind of notices Jennifer is getting pulled aside, but doesn't because there's Leah in front of him right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's other interaction going on.
Yeah. It's like Clint's is sitting here. It's like, look, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're just one of the friggin' one of the people in the public. He's kind of jabbing his finger at you, kind of moving in to tap your forehead.
When he starts doing that, Chei will go over and just go, Clinton, back off, mate. We both know what it's like to be down low. Just back off.
By the way, Jen is kind of sitting here receiving it and saying, it's like, can't get in a fight. I get it. I can't. If I get in a fight, I'm off the next tournament. I can't get in a fight.
Can I like try to talk her down?
Yes, you can.
Like help her?
Yes, you can. By the way, William, you're not sure what Clint's deal is because his family is not connected to the community. You know he knows about supernatural things, but you don't.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
But you don't know why.
Okay.
There are groups outside of the community. The community accounts for like 1/3 of the supernatural population, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah. In any case, you come up to him with that. Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll real quick. Okay. This is going to be amusing.
Does Chei get a bonus for being in their G and being outgrown of it and looking like super buff for that shit? Like, fuck.
Ooh.
Looking like something out of fucking Street Fighter.
You know, I'll give you basically a mental weapon rating for that of 2.
2.
In which case, that is 5 stress. He would be taken out. He has to take a consequence.
His mom's gonna hear all about this. He is so fucking grounded.
He's gonna get home later and just pop on paper and just tell.
Yeah. It is a 3 because he's going to take. Oh no, he's he's not playing as a full character, so he only has the serious. He's kind of looking. He doesn't want to face Chei. I get the feeling he and Chei have had a fight before.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling about that because of one of the aspects.
Yeah.
Everything's a fight.
Jennifer and Clint fairly famously get into rows occasionally. Because Jennifer has a... Huh? What was that?
I'm sorry, I was going to ask, does he always bring up the deep one thing? Is he, like, always in her face about that?
Yes,
or
he is.
That just happens to be today?
No, he's pretty much in her face about that all the time. Out of character, demons and gods aren't really aware of it being a slur. They've kind of lost contact with. They deal with the mortals that know about them, so they're off in their own little culture, and they remember deep ones being the name this race came up with for themselves. So he finds it hilarious. She thinks it's annoying.
Hey, as a note, somehow, like, if it comes up some way later, I want to play a prank on him.
Okay.
Something to embarrass him.
Got it.
You're talking to the person who basically grew up with him, because I feel like Chei and Clinton have grown up, and yeah.
Like in the same area, know the same people, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a quick. Everybody, give me a quick knowledge roll. William is probably going to have a lower difficulty on this than everybody.
Okay.
So, did you say knowledge roll?
Knowledge, because this is dealing with things you already know, not creation of new memory.
I don't think I have any bonuses for that.
That's an impressive roll on the part of Leah.
Yeah.
Maybe she does know something about people after all. Who knows?
I know straight.
Yeah. Okay. You don't know what it is, but you know that the term "deep one" is very personal. It is very, very. It is a slur, but there is some personal aspect of it that bothers Jennifer. Out of character, her family was in Innsmouth when it was slaughtered.
Oh shit.
Not her personally; she's a descendant, but. None of you know that. You do know she takes it very personally more, and Leah doesn't really know about other species because William hasn't led on. But she does know that it is insulting to at least Jennifer, and Jennifer takes it very personally because you got a tie. Okay. So Clint is kind of looking back at his group in his gang and is kind of like, well, we'll see about this. And it's like, going to leave right now.
As he turns to leave, Chei just wants to say this sort of like, hope your mum's doing all right down at the bakery. Might pop by and get something to eat later on. The way like, I can tell her everything if I go by, but not like actually saying that. It's more like implying that I could.
Yeah. Okay. Give me another persuasion roll. We'll see if he takes it. You have place intimidated on him from earlier. You can use that for free once. It's actually, you can use it for free. He's a minor character, so that's persistent. You can use it for free every time to give him a -2 on his roll.
I'm using it for free.
Okay. You can also make him re-roll, but that has the potential of making him worse. So yeah. You deal a little bit more mental stress to him.
Well, I mean, you could go tell his mom that he was talking shit on her. Like, oh, he's so in trouble. his mom's gonna cry and like ground him forever.
That's the I decided to go over and tell her. Well, I might go over there and get one of those croissants. They're quite nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Chei, from having encountered him before, you know he's embarrassed with his mom. Apparently, the way he talks, his family is warrior, 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 or at least he thinks so. He's embarrassed his mom's a civvy.
This guy's a real twat walk in there. Like, jeez.
He's bad enough that the couple times he's been played, the player has immediately taken him off to go sabotage every other booth.
Shit. Oh.
Yeah, and Chase is like, shoving Clint down. Right now. Like, nope. Not being to be shut down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Clint is going off in a little bit of frustrated. His buddies are he's trying to play it up to his buddies that, hey, I'm still tough guy.
Yeah, you're still a tough guy. Gets intimidated by a person in a size 11 child gi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a tough guy. I'm wearing kids' clothing because I have no money to get a new gi, and it makes me look buff as hell.
Yep.
And you're trying to upplay. That makes no sense.
Okay. Going back to William and Jen, go ahead and try to talk her down. That's going to be an empathy roll. Striking looks and first impressionist will go along with this. Usually you already know her, so first impressionist wouldn't come into play, but because this is a one-shot.
Okay.
Okay, so you've started to calm her down. She was already experiencing some mental stress. She was on her way to have a break and getting into a fight. You're starting to recover that stress. It's going away on her, and it's giving her the enough to get started on bringing down. It's like, okay, yeah, thank you. What do you say exactly to her?
Yeah, so like I first off, like I get her like over to our area, so she's like kind of protected by the group as well. And I'm just like, you know what? He's just mad because he doesn't have any talent. You know, yeah, you're right. We need you on the swim team, girl, because you are gonna rock it. Don't even worry about him. He's nobody. He wishes he was somebody. No, just you need to do you and relax. You know, it's a fun day. It'll be all right. And if he messes with you again, you know where to come.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'll try to keep calm. He's just a jerk. He's not worth it.
Right.
Right.
He's a jerk. Hey, are you thinking about any more clubs or anything? Because I mean, swimming, you're fit. You know, you could join up with us, and I mean, you know, it would be over. Like he wouldn't mess with you again because you would kick his ass every time.
So I can't just abandon the swim team. Those are my people.
I mean, no. Do we have like, do we meet on the same day or something?
If there's something that's not meeting on the same, well, I mean, if as long as it doesn't, I guess I could do another club. As long as it doesn't interfere with the competition and training.
Yeah, for sure. I would not want to take you away from that because like, you're so good at it. Really take a brochure and like come by in a little bit because Chei is gonna totally show everybody how kick ass it is. So, you know, come check it out, okay?
Okay, that sounds good. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so from there, what you're going to? She kind of calms down and heads back over to the dunking booth. She doesn't particularly look happy that their swim team is doing a dunking booth, but
yeah.
she's wearing her swimsuit, by the way. Leah might be a little bit. Jennifer's swimsuit stands out from the others. She wears a full one-piece aerodynamic. It covers her neck and everything. It's more than just. It looks more like a scuba diver swimsuit.
Like the ones with like the short legs and short arms, maybe.
Except it covers her neck. William would know that's because she has gills. And
yeah.
and breathing chlorinated water is bad.
Fair. Makes sense to me.
William, go ahead and make a knowledge roll real quick.
Okay.
William would also know that while she's wearing this swimsuit, she probably is on edge because her body does not like it.
Yeah, because I guess like it's like almost like having somebody cover your nose, you know?
Yeah.
Like you can breathe through your mouth, but it still is uncomfortable and kind of panic-inducing in and of itself.
So the fact you rolled so high on that also explains how well you were able to calm her down. You know, it's partly biological right now. Okay, so she wanders off, and you're starting to have the first demonstration. Who's going to be? You're doing the hawking thing. Let me go ahead and get a persuasion rolls from both Leah and William on the hawking thing.
Okay.
Depending on how you describe it, some of your advantages can come to play. And Leah, you might be able to use your acrobatics and stuff like that, the agility to do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Chei, do you want to take part in this as well? I'll give each of you one roll.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
I presume I'm just rolling persuasion.
Oh, you can roll if you want. I'll let any of you choose what you want to roll. It doesn't have to be persuasion. You can demonstrate by using your strength as well.
I'm going to go through my strength then.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll go with agility. I have amazing acrobatic ability, after all.
Yep. You roll +4 with acrobat. And William,
Okay.
what are you rolling?
And so like I was thinking if I take a turn being like the crash test dummy, as it were.
Okay.
That I could use illusion to make it look even more impressive.
Cool. Also, I've just found a bit of copy pasta in William's character sheet because it should say +2 persuasion against people attracted to men, not women.
Oh, I mean, I am really pretty though.
Yes.
You know, so.
By the way, how many tails does your kitsune parent have?
Oh, I can have up to what, 7, right?
9, up to 9.
Oh, that's a good question. Let's say 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
So you would know that means there's 3 minds and 3 souls in your kitsune parent.
Cool.
They don't share that with other supernaturalists because they're afraid that people might get the wrong idea. It's a willing merger between a kitsune and non-kitsune. They basically absorb and become one person. So you have a non-kitsune parent who is not absorbed, or unless they've been absorbed recently, and then you have three parents in one body.
So kind of like a trill almost.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So if you get a 9-tailed kitsune, that means they have 9 souls. It also means they're functionally immortal.
Whoa.
Most kitsune never get past 1 tail.
Like, am I going to be able to absorb people eventually, or is that not a thing because I'm only half?
You're only half, so not eventually, no.
Okay, cool. But I still look good.
Yeah.
Did you guys see my picture that I picked out, by the way?
Yeah, I saw.
I'm so pretty.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. that said, okay, so Kai is doing strength. Is the outfit's kind of throwing people off a little bit? They're kind of a little bit.
Oh,
I'm a poor son. I don't have any money.
Yeah, but the other two have succeeded with style. You can also succeed with cost on the strength one if you want, but you have 2 successes with style as it is.
can I use my success to mitigate his fail because of his attire? Because like if I use illusion to make it seem like it's a super stylish small gay, like we did it that way on purpose. You know what I mean?
Go ahead and give me a quick manipulation roll with the +2 because artist illusions. Manipulative roll.
And you said it was a +4.
Manipulative with you, I think, is a 1. No, it's a 2. And you have artist
Yeah.
+2, so a total of +4. You are actually a very talented telekinetic.
All right, 6.
6. Oh, yeah, that's a success with style. You can definitely pull that off. There are Bishi sparkles all over Chei.
Awesome.
Chase is like ignoring the illusion. He's like, no, this is not me.
And like every time I walk by or near Chei during this whole environment, you look so cute right now. You don't even understand how cute you look. You're gonna get so many numbers.
Dagger glare.
And that makes me even happier. I feel gleeful about that.
Yeah. You're doing the little anime fox smile.
For sure.
Okay,
So you're doing that, and I'm just like,
yeah,
dagger glare.
you're getting tons and tons of customers coming by the way, people coming by to see you perform. It is like this a combination of just Leah doing, because like they've never seen Leah, they never realized Leah knew how to do stuff other than cheerleading. Cheerleading's not a real sport. It's like, so some of them were coming to laugh at Leah, and then it's like, oh, she's actually good. And then there's this. Then Chei is combination scary, and they're not really sure how to deal with the small gi. It's an interesting costume choice, but it's
He had no choices. It's like small rips around the shoulders.
Yeah.
Like a patch of different coloured fabric.
Yeah.
Just to make it last longer.
Yeah.
Stage 1 Hulk.
There you go. Baby Hulk.
Stage 1 Hulk. Okay. You also notice creeping around. You've seen a couple of reporters. There's this lady named Miki Kwan who's kind of a Korean Japanese lady who works for one of the newspapers who so doesn't want to be here. Then there's this Adrian Rocha who is a local. You know, who was the guy who was on the Today Show that was everybody liked him as the weatherman that for so long. I might be the only one old enough to know who he is.
Al Roker?
No. Well, he's the new one, so probably him as well. I know the older kind of white guy that was in the role before him. But anyway, he's that kind of the local that does all the human interest things for the local news station that everybody thinks is great. He's a little bit conservative, but not too terrible. He's in the area,
right?
Just doing the normal thing. But you also notice somebody else. It kind of stands out from the normal adults that come through here. He looks a little bit raggedy. He looks a little bit more on the level of not even so much like from Chei's part of town, more like drifter type raggedy.
Okay.
Kind of poking about, looking really kind of suspicious. Who kind of has one of those little audio recorder type things. He's kind of creeping past your booth at one point. He kind of glances over at you and then continues on. kind of looks very carefully at the illusions and then thinks about it and decides, no, and starts moving on, but looking back over his shoulder.
I'd like to keep an eye out for that dude, like, as we go forward. Yeah. I just, like, keeping an eye out for creepers, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. He gives you very much a Van Helsing / Kolchak vibe.
Also, like, I want to try to get the attention of both of the actual reporters and get them over to our booth, especially when Chei is, like, in his groove doing, you know, doing the demonstration.
With freaking glitter on his key and constantly dagger glares at William. Not in good mood.
It makes you look so fierce.
It looks like, I mean, when people look closely, it's like they know that it's not there, but from a distance, it's like, does that key have rhinestones?
Yes.
God. Completely breaking his persona whatsoever. His whole tough guy persona just getting shattered by illusionary rhinestones.
Who do you want to go to first, Miki or Miki Kwan or Adrian Rocha?
I want to go to the easy guy first. Or no, actually, we're doing really good right now. Like, we have a lot going on. It's going well at the moment, right?
Yeah, and Rocha is TV.
Does he have a cameraman with him?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to him first.
It's like he's doing kind of he's kind of setting up an interview or a bit. He's talking with his cameraman. Maybe we should do it right here. He's in front of one of the booths. They have this thing set up where people can donate to the school as a whole, not just the booth, and it produces a little ball that gets put in a jar at the end of the day. And there is whoever can guess how many balls, closest to how many balls will be in the jar at the end of the day, gets a prize. It's kind of a variation on that. There's not just a set number in there. It's based on how much donations get produced throughout the park, throughout the fair.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So he's like over there and he's talking to his cameraman, trying to figure out how they're going to shoot and what have you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I tell Lee, because Lee is my the other face, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, Lee, I'm gonna go see if I can get them over here, okay? I mean, because if we can get, you know, more eyes on this, it's more money for the club. What do you think?
Oh yeah, sounds like a great idea.
All right. I don't know. Do you think you could say this better? What do you think?
I actually don't know whether she would or not.
Mm-hmm.
I have a fate point for you, if you want. If you take the fate points, Leah, you'll want to go on that camera and you're going to go spout out about bullying because of what you saw with Jennifer earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of behind this as well, even though William was going to be fairly disappointed that it wasn't about him and his little setup over here that he's been working hard on. But also, yes, do it.
Okay, why not? Yeah. That is kind of her thing.
Yeah, so can you get, she's saying, do you want to take point on this? And you so definitely want in front of that camera, you so definitely want to call people out for letting bullying happen. Go for it.
All right, so yeah, I will go right over there. And,
it's like, so he's sitting there talking to the cameraman. So do we want to go from over here, or do we want to look in this direction over here? Which booths do you think look the best for for the catch. This is what they're saying as you come up.
Mr. Rocha, it's amazing that you're here. We really need to get the word out that people just are not paying good enough attention to the bullying problem in town. There are people just throwing slurs around, and it's just a terrible scene, and they're ruining our experience of our wonderful martial arts booth over here.
And like my ears are twitching because I hear me not going totally off script, and my tail starts twitching around. I'm like, oh, you little witch.
You probably.
You had it in mind.
I think William probably saw the gears switch behind her eyes about a half second before it was too late. A half second after it was too late.
She was going over to talk about the booth, and then like glanced over at the swim team thing and sees Jennifer looking despondent still. And it's like, yeah.
And Chase is there still demonstrating, saying nothing.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on. Just demonstrating.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a quick persuasion roll. This is going to be fast talk, too, because you're trying to make some.
+4.
Yeah. Okay, Rocha, let's see how you're doing. As a success with style, it's like. So seriously, you've been noticing problems with bullying in the around town?
It was just earlier today. I mean, I saw a group of guys who were harassing my friend Jennifer and calling her just the nastiest names. It's a terrible situation.
Okay, William, you might. I'll let you decide on this because you don't have any aspects related to the secrecy of the community whatsoever. So you could go either way. But if she starts talking about deep one as a slur, that could be on TV. That could be a thing.
Right, and Jenna's having a hard enough time in this situation without having it be broadcast everywhere. So I was
Leah has no idea what it actually means anything. It's like just because she's on the swim team is no reason to.
Wait, Lee, you are so right. It is such a big problem. And when she walked by our booth over here, the karate club booth, we were not having that. We were not letting that stuff go down. And you should totally come over here and check out Chei because he totally stepped in and used moves that he learned with us to totally just put a stop to that whole situation. If you wanted to bring your camera over, I'm sure he could show you all kinds of stuff that would look really great for your show.
Now this is going to
trying to spin it back in
the
direction.
Okay, this is going to be I'm looking at the wrong character sheet. Let me look at what William has real quick. This is going to be first impressionist versus fast talker. Both of you roll against each other.
Oh boy! All right.
Okay.
Wait. Does Lee find me hot? Because then I get another thing.
Well, this is you're directing your persuasion against who is persuading Adrian the best. So that doesn't come in.
Okay, Adrian doesn't think I'm hot. Fine. All right, let me see. So,
yeah.
Not Etsy yet.
Yeah, William's totally taking credit for the club and just sort of joining partway.
Actually, Chei, I'll give you a fate point if Chei heard that and aggression rises to the top and you come to.
Oh, we're tied.
It's like at this point, it's like okay, this is kind of an interesting point. But trying to hear on a human interest thing, we're covering the fair as a whole and the fundraising things. Trying to be a feel good piece.
what's more feel good than kids sticking up for other kids? I mean, like, what's better in this modern age where everyone is all about themselves than for kids to step up and stand up for each other?
Okay, we had somebody have a Discord crash, so give us a moment.
Yep.
I'm slightly disappointed this is a one shot because I'm liking playing a guy that's so weird. And great.
Okay.
Yes.
By the way, I think I said moves that he learned with us, so I mean I wasn't saying I taught him, but please go on.
I know, but it's aggression rises to the top is one of his problems, and bad boy habits is one of his problems. So,
Yep.
And he's already pissed at me about the outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going down. I'm doing that.
yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
What do I roll?
You're gonna just come over and do something. If there's something that involves a roll, I'll ask you to make a roll.
Okay, he basically walks over and goes, I learned from you guys. Why don't you learn from me? Have you not seen how old my gi is?
And yeah, so I look at you and I'm like, I kind of give you like a little bit of a dirty look, like why are you trying to fuck us up? But then I'm like, yeah, you know, we learned so much from you, and I mean, look
It's
at
true.
what you're
Chei
doing
has some
now.
really impressive moves.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, what's more feel good than kids sticking up for other kids?
If you want, okay, that if you want a expose on bullying, I suggest you talk to Miss Kwan. She's the one that wants to be the investigative journalist.
Miss Kwan is here? She's like one of my heroes.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to miss out on the more interesting story of the day, I suppose that's up to you. But we thought we'd at least offer it to you first.
Okay, I am going to go ahead and have another thing from William to go against, and this is going to be against Chei being upset because the issue here, it's going to be, I'm going to throw in fearless in that, so that's going to be +5 from Chei, and plus, and then I'll give I'll give you the striking looks because you look that's good for camera. I'll go ahead and give you striking looks.
All right.
We're going to press it at the same time?
Yep, do it at the same time. This is basically, Chei, you're providing the obstacle to getting Adrian Rocha to film the thing. He's going to decide you might be too aggressive to make a good bit.
Is it the persuasion on my part, or?
It's intimidation, so it's going to be persuasion. So yeah.
Okay, so then I have +4, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
It's like, I'm
Real scary looking.
sorry, I may come back a little bit later, but right now I think I want something a little bit less conflict oriented. I think in the cameraman's like, oh, the drama club's supposed to be doing something in a little bit here, and doing that little head shake things like, let's get out of here.
Chei says as an age, Chei goes, hit up over the drama club and the swimming club. They're a bit more less intimidating than some of us.
So, William, unfortunately, unless you have something else to up your sleeve, you're sitting here watching Adrian Rocha and his camera walk away.
Okay, does he have the camera, or does he have the cameraman or woman?
Cameraman or woman, yeah.
I want to, like, kind of, like, walk after a little bit and talk to the cameraman and be like, you don't want to spend all day filming that boring shit, right? you want to come back and check us out, then at least it's something interesting to film all day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll come back. Maybe we'll come back later in the day when we're doing individual events.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you. We'll make sure Chei is rested up to give you guys a good show.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a quick persuasion roll on that last bit.
I'm just imagining Chei in the background, standing at his full height with his arms crossed. It's like, what are you doing, William?
Is it +4 or +2?
I'm going to go ahead and call this +4. Because striking looks is good for camera. That is good. Yeah, you're reasonably certain that they'll be back to film you doing stuff later. There's probably not going to be an interview or anything.
That's fair.
But it will be...
Yeah, Leah lost out on the whole bullying angle, but they might at least get us on camera a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did angle them towards the swim team for a reason.
Yeah.
Or mention it for a reason.
So, I'm just wondering, am I, going to be oh, man, my dad is going to be so impressed with how I bought this little, thing and I got it onto the TV and da-da-da?
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
Yeah. Out of character, Kitsune evolved. There was this species, sentient species that evolved from foxes, and they got infected with some sort of plague that caused them to evolve into Kitsune. They are essentially collectively sentient bacteria colonies that still think they're fox-shaped.
Gross. Do I ever have ears and tail, for realsies? Because
not really. It was my original idea was no, but you have illusions and illusory disguise, so you could certainly have them and just be constantly having a disguise over yourself.
Yeah, that's part of the thing with being Kitsune is you get cool ears and tails, but you around.
You definitely have nails and teeth. You have fangs and claws.
Yeah, they make me look like a super hot vampire, so it's totally cool.
Definitely, yeah. You definitely come across as the glittery vampire types.
You come across as a fuckboy.
What? All right, that's it. You get more glitter now.
No, that's literally how me out of character has been imagining William. It's just a fuckboy. Chei just thinks William's William, but Kai, myself, thinks William is a fuckboy.
Okay, well,
I don't know why it just does.
All right.
Okay. So, Leah, you go rushing off to find Miki Kwan because you're still off on the expose and bullying thing.
Yeah, and she is, an investigative journalist, which is kind of really up Leah's alley with the finding injustice for everywhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's probably one of Leah's plans for after school is to get into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
as you're walking around, you kind of see two of the members of Clint's little gang. Not Clint himself; he's probably off skulking somewhere. But you see two of his buddies, kind of in a little off corner, kind of lingering over what looks like that's just Kara, who was the one who borrowed the duct tape from you. It's like and she's sitting there telling him, it's like, I have to go, please. I don't have to. I have to go. I have things I need to do at the booth. It's like, oh, come on, you can come help us. I mean, last I heard, you were on break for the next 30 minutes, right?
okay, and that's when I sort of come up and find them.
That's when you come up and find them. Yes.
Okay, so I would say
Miss Kwan, I heard you were here, and I had to come talk to you because, well, for one thing, you're one of my heroes, and that amazing piece you did on the Shen district last month was amazing. But also, there's been a rash of bullying at this school, and I really think it needs to be covered. And
You're saying this while Jeskar is being bullied in the alley around the corner. This is awesome. Okay. Got it. Okay. It's like, go ahead and give me a persuasion roll. I'm going to give you fast talk, and it's not going to be much because this is going to go way in. Miki is definitely ambitious and wants to get out of doing human interest things.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll that, and I'm going to roll. Let's see. That's a tie, but I'm going to go ahead and it's like an expose on bullying. Do you have anything specific in mind, or are you just, because that's kind of been done. Do you have anything specific in mind?
well, I don't know for sure if she'd want to be part of it or not, but I witnessed a friend of mine being harassed by a group of boys earlier today, and
would I notice what's going on in the alley as well? Or
yeah, I told you what was happening, so you know it's there. I'm guessing I'm going with you found Miki Kwan at the same time, and you know that's happening. You're bringing her over.
Yeah, but actually, like just this very moment, I was just as I was coming to find you. Well, here, come with me,
and I'm just going to go show her and try and interrupt the people who are messing with Jess.
Okay. And you come around the corner, and they're messing with Jess. Right about the time you come around the corner, and Miki you're kind of glancing back. And as a side thing, you can use empathy to try to read what aspects people have. And once you know what aspects people have, you can use them against them. Just so you know.
So that's just a straight empathy roll to do that?
It would be usually empathy versus deception, or just a straight empathy roll if they're not actively hiding it. But yeah, any case, as you're coming around and Miki's seeing the conflict here with the two boys kind of pressuring a rather attractive young woman, you see the corner, and they're not quite aware as you're coming. And at that moment, Jess sort of just kind of cries out, it's like, leave me alone! And for a brief moment, all of you see what looks like Jess seems to turn into, seems to grow about 5 inches taller and turn into sort of a demonic woman shape. And then that image is gone and she's running.
Do I need to roll knowledge to know what the hell?
William?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to assume you were following along with Leah. Chei, what were you doing during this time?
I'd probably be like trailing, but like arms crossed, like really annoyed at it.
Okay, just so that, just in case, okay, I see. Okay. We're going to assume it's either between demonstrations or somebody's else on demonstration duty right now.
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, like I dashed off to look for the newspaper lady, and then William was like, okay, maybe we need to head off Leah before she does something foolish, and got somebody else to come man the booth.
Okay. I'm actually going, the last time Leah got played, she ended up going down the checklist of how to insult a deep one by trying to calm down Jennifer without knowing that deep ones were a thing, or Lemurians were a thing. And I have a comic page. Wow. I commissioned a comic page that got inspired by it. So I'll show you that after. Anyway, so yeah. You don't know what that was precisely, William, but you definitely know that was an illusion.
Okay.
So a liar knows a liar.
Yeah. The immediate thought that comes to your mind is a slang term for psychics that don't know they're psychic or are out of control or think they don't need training, that kind of thing, is the slang term Akira.
Okay.
That immediately comes to mind. You have never seen any hint of psychic ability from Jess that you know of. You don't really hang out with her that much. She's famous for being helpful to everybody, so everybody kind of likes her, but you've never had much dealing with her. And she's not part of the community, and as far as you know, she's never demonstrated any knowledge of the supernatural, so the only thing you can think of is she's an Akira, and she doesn't know what the heck is going on. But you don't know what's going on either.
Would my parents have told me about Akira and how to deal with them at all, or?
Everybody, Akira is a slang term, so everybody would be using it. It's a common term in the community. And actually, it has worked its way into the espionage community and from there into the general population.
Great. Because that's what we want.
Yeah. This setting is moving towards where the supernatural is going to be public. There are too many living supernaturals for secrecy to be maintained at this point. Yeah, go on.
I'm sorry. I was just like, so like how my parents said, like, you should be careful approaching people like this, or you should help them, or you should stay away from them. Have they given you any guidelines for it?
Well, they can definitely say you have been probably been given would have definitely been given some of the guidelines because you would have been taught to avoid being one yourself. And you know that when you were developing your illusions, being emotional caused them to flare. And you definitely know that if someone gets caught into like a panicky situation, and you know from earlier she was feeling rather upset and stressed. And Chei definitely knows because Chei and Leah saw the nosebleed. Definitely think that she's being stressed. They probably are better aware of the stress on her than you are, but you know that stress can lead into a spiral and you can cause a really, really out of control, what is called an episode. It's unlikely to be dangerous to anybody in particular, but also an untrained psychic can do things like channel the life force through the wrong parts of the body and cause an aneurysm.
Okay. And she ran off, correct?
She ran off.
I'm going to run after her.
Okay. Meanwhile, the two boys and Miki are sitting there going, and Miki is fumbling for her audio recorder.
I would like to intimidate two lads that have just made someone who I consider as a acquaintance, one of their possible friends. They've made them upset, and I want to intimidate the two boys that I probably do know through growing up as well, like Clinton. I just want to intimidate the shit out of them. Just like, I've seen you do it once, so I'm not going to let you do it again, you bastards.
Okay, go ahead and give me a persuasion roll.
Flex a little bit, make your teeth rip some more, you know?
Okay. Let's see. It's like, oh, forget you. Okay, yeah, forget you. You want to fight? Yeah, sure. We're going to go ahead and we'll do this right now. And one of them takes a swing at you. So go ahead and roll your agility for defense. You get +1.
I get a +1 for defense. plus agility, I presume.
Yes.
So I'm doing a +3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you succeed with style. You have so much, you actually have a boost on them. I'm doing them as a full unit, so you're attacking both of them at the same time. They're not separate things. So, so they attack as a unit. They fight. They usually do that. I usually do that with groups larger than 3 or 5, larger than 5. But I'll do it with 2 just to speed things along. But yeah, they take a shot at you, and you completely rebuff them. What kind of advantage do you get over them because they're such terrible fighters?
Hmm.
Not really the best idea to pick on the kid in the martial arts club.
Yeah. I'm thinking I just kind of do a sweep the leg to knock them both on the ground.
Okay, so
And then dodging,
you can do
sweep
that.
the leg.
You sweep the leg as you dodge, and they get tripped onto the ground. Leah and William, what are you doing?
Have I caught up to it?
Jess went.
William was going to chase after Jess.
Okay, William was going to chase after Jess.
Not sure what Leah should do. Is there something that I should roll to figure out what's going on with the demon image, or is that just something Leah wouldn't know anything about?
Go ahead, and I don't think you, Leah, would know about it. And where the heck did I? Just a second. I'm trying to move things. Where is the thing I'm trying to move? There it is. Way over there. You're going to be moving through a couple of my different maps here in a moment as I get to the one I want to use for this. Actually, I'll use that one. That one is good. That's my chase map. Okay, so the thugs are tripped. Leah, give me a quick reasoning roll.
Okay. +3.
Also, like she's seen William.
That's why I'm giving her the
kinds of bullshit.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I'm giving her a reasoning roll. You are reasonably certain that what you saw was an illusion. It wasn't quite like Williams. It was a little bit more extravagant than a lot of Williams, but it was an illusion.
Okay. I'm trying to decide whether she would be more interested in sticking next to the reporter to get the story from these guys, or going after the girl that's sort of her friend to see if she's okay.
Yeah. There's also the point of a reporter now wanting to do a story on a girl that can go into demon mode.
I don't know whether we want that or not. Well, actually, Leah is really good at running across obstacles and things, so
Yeah.
maybe I will have her give a shot at that and see if she can catch up to Jess.
Okay. So she is also going to be part of the chase. And William, what are you doing?
I'm trying to gain ground without seeming aggressive because I don't want to add to her stress or how bad she's freaking out. And I'm just gonna like call out Jess, hey, wait up. Like, let me help.
Okay, so the way the chase is going to work, and we're going to do this, and I'm going to need a quick bio break real quick. And then when we come back, the way this is going to work is we're going to do it in rounds. A chase is going to be a contest, and at the same time, we're going to have one round. We're going to have the split up between the fight between Chei and those 2 thugs, and then the contest, the 3-way contest between the reporter and Jess and the 2 of you. And we'll be doing it in rounds. Okay, be right back. It won't take me long.
All right. Grab some water myself.
I'm gonna go get my bird. What's that?
It's the funny thing. It's 2:15 in the morning, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
No.
I was wondering. It would be 7 hours ahead of me. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's like 2:15 in the morning, and I'm like, I have to get up.
When do you usually go to sleep? Oh,
Around this time. But like, I've got to get up and do drumming like tomorrow. Though that's not until like 7, so I'm alright. I don't have to really get up for about midday-ish.
okay. Yeah, we may want to wrap it up sooner than later.
Yes, we're that's kind of why I moved it on to this. We're actually into the I schedule out 4 hours, so by this there'd be an hour and 40 minutes left. But we're already into Act 3, so and Act 4 is kind of optional depending on how well Act 3 goes. So we're right on track for getting finished fairly soon. If I were doing this as a full campaign and in the bit I sell online, I have notes on how to expand this out into a multi-session adventure, and building off of campaign. Actually, by accident, the first thing I published for this scenario was the stuff I gave to people for running in the convention when I was playtesting it. So both are available. You can get, when you purchase the scenario, you get both you can get both the original stuff I gave to people for running it and my suggestions for that I meant to publish. Okay, because I didn't want to just say, well, I'm not going to offer the thing that maybe some people prefer the other copy. Anyway, on to this. Now, we're going to go ahead. We had them get tripped up, so I'll go ahead and just roll me 4DF each of you, and we'll see how it goes for initiative order. And Leah, go ahead and roll a flat +0.
Okay. Ooh, not great.
Okay.
Like the order we rolled it in is the order we got on the turn.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we'll be going with the other people a little bit. So, Chei, you trip them up. It's your turn. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna try and pick them both up and try and smack their heads together.
Okay, go for it.
And what am I exactly doing? I know
You're going to roll. It's going to go be strength, and you get a +1 to it because it's your bonus, your specialty. And they're tripped. You can use that against them. They rolled a 3. If you want to use tripped against them, you can.
Might as well. Even though I've got 4.
That reduces them to a 1, and it makes you succeed with style. Now, what you can do with succeed with style is you can reduce your damage by 1 and add a boost on top of it, so you'll make your next hit easier. But you're going to be doing 3 damage to them. That's going to remove one of them from, because they're doing as a group. You're going to knock out one of them as it is.
Knock one of them out and just stick down to the second dude. I don't care about any extra. No.
Okay. Then, his turn. He is no longer tripped. He stands up and tries to go ahead and tries to take out you. He's swinging again.
Yeah.
That's a tie. As it is, he's going to be able to. He's not going to do damage to you because only heroes do damage on tie. Only main characters do damage on tie. But he doesn't have a weapon of value to do damage with anyway. He is going to manage to maybe push you a little bit off balance as it is. You can, however, spend a fate point or something related to that, or you can just be a little bit shoved off balance for a round.
I'll be a little bit shocked with balance. It doesn't matter to me.
You have tons of physical stress. Getting in a fight with you is really a bad idea. I made Chei as the most physical, the most intimidating person to get in a fight with of the entire set of pre-gens. Okay, on to William. William, you are going to be in a chase against. You're doing a contest against Leah, not Leah. Jess. Jess is a bit of an athlete because she's part of the soccer team. So she is taking off running. You wanted to call her down and calm her down, so I'm going to suggest you use empathy. On the other hand, you could try to do the empathy as a maneuver to give you a bonus on the chase. The way contests work is the first person to get to 3 victories comes out on top, and their outcome is one that gets put ahead. You can use a maneuver before you actually make your contest roll, and the maneuver might produce an aspect that gives you a bonus to act. But if you screw up with the maneuver, you don't get to roll the contest this round, and there's likely they'll pull ahead. So you can't go, just a moment. So your options are, you can do the empathy as your contest roll and just try to get flat victory. Or you can do the empathy as a maneuver and then try to use that to make the contest roll even better.
Oh, it looks like we lost Cho in the Discord.
Uh-oh.
I thought it was strangely silent.
Yeah. Went offline. We'll wait a little bit for them to come back. Okay, we'll wait a little bit for them to come back because it is their turn and we don't want to continue without them. Heard. Okay. As for people who are here who want to know what Jess does look like, that's what Jess looks like. The pupils thing are a recent thing. She wouldn't have noticed it before.
Oh, okay. I saw that on the YouTube video, but I didn't know who it was.
Yeah. Jess Cara is one of my backers. Melinda's in the Roll20. Chosen the Roll20 120.
Oh. Interesting.
Discord must have dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, Discord dropped, so it's not in the Discord voice chat. Could be the same issue I had where it just crashed.
I almost went in and decided to play Jess. She would have been a fun character too, but figured I could lean on the Hermione aspects of Leah.
Yeah.
The only real thing for me is I opened Chase first and just went, huh, this looks like me. I'll check out the others first. So I check out the others as well. And then I looked over to him and was like, no, neither of these guys really click with me, but this guy looks like a martial artist. I like martial arts. I do martial arts. I could literally play him so well. So I did.
Cool.
It's a good way to do
It's
it.
going well.
I have not been in a session where somebody got Jess to play yet. And one of the things I suggest for making it an extended thing is changing who the damsel in distress is, making it not Jess. There are several other people with similar things that could attract a aggressive reporter, or bullying, which is kind of the focus of this particular scenario. In current media environments, I kind of wish I hadn't made this an aggressive reporter as the antagonist, but when I wrote this scenario, it was 2012.
Yeah, so things have developed since then.
Yeah. She's offline on the Discord, so we can't even message her.
Well, you can if you have to. Just might not
Oh,
get to it.
there she's back. Let's see if she gets in. Well, I assume we'll be seeing her in the voice chat in a little bit here. Okay. Hard crash. Lovely, lovely hard crash.
Yeah, my mind did that earlier.
Interesting. So some of the maps I have for this, in case people go to different things, is goldfish catching, haunted house, dunk take, the cosplay cafe, the ring toss,
Oh yeah.
the shooting gallery, the karaoke. If we actually, it looks like the reporter is going to be a minor issue in this one, but if we got to where we were dealing with the reporter, that's what I had for the reporter. If we went on tonight, live music, the guess the number thing.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Somebody's rebooting.
467.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be me.
Yeah. And student performance for the play.
Ooh.
Nice.
I probably should have done one for knickknacks and such, because one of the artsy types is a sculptor. Where's the chase? There's the chase. Okay. The one thing about Roll20 is you can be on a different map than your players are.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
So it's a little bit clunky in moving around maps when both you and the players have to move around maps. Let's see.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think I must have had like a power surge or something.
No problem.
Like my PC turned off completely, and I had to unplug the power cord and plug it back in just to get the thing to turn back on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
As a particular side note, one of the teachers on staff is part of the community. She's a dryad. You don't know how old she.
That's dope.
You don't. Dryads are people that ate fruit of a dryad tree. It kind of cripples their psychic abilities. It you can think Zeus, basically.
Or isn't that most of the story? You can thank Zeus for most bummer shit.
Yeah, Zeus is one of the primary antagonists for the fiction.
Sounds legit.
He's basically among gods. He's basically the equivalent of organized crime / serial rapist.
What?
Most of his family have disavowed him and gone off to do their own things. He has a small cadre of people that are incredibly loyal to him. But yeah. But anyway, William, as I was saying, this is a contest. The way contests work is the first person to get to 3 victories wins.
Okay.
You can just roll your empathy as you can choose every round. You can choose what you're going to roll as your contest. You could do the empathy or the persuasion to get her to calm down and stop, and that would be going towards victories. Or you can set that up as a maneuver. Maneuvers will give you an aspect you can use to make your rolls easier. The downside is if you fail the maneuver, you don't get a chance to roll the contest, and the other person can pull away very easily.
I think if I would notice that Lee is running alongside, right?
Yeah, Leah's running alongside.
Okay, so then I'm kind of going to trust Lee to catch her. I feel like if anybody's going to be able to catch her, it's going to be Lee.
And you're going to use the persuasion as a maneuver to help Leah?
Yeah, or to help calm.
Okay, that works actually. That's another thing you can do. I definitely let people help other people in contests. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. And striking looks. Okay.
5.
Nice.
Let's see. You have, okay. So that's going to be a maneuver of soothing words with 1 tag. The tag is where you can use it for free. Once it's out of tags, you have to pay fate points to use it.
Okay.
And then we'll go we're going to go to the contest between Leah, Miki, and Jess.
Okay, so I would do my agility with +5 because of the extra 2 for free runner.
Yeah, free runner gives you an extra 2, so you're rolling +5. Do you have athlete as well?
Let's see. I have the other sport teams don't think we're athletes, but I don't have I have acrobat and free runner, the 2 advantages that I have.
Okay, so yeah, you don't have this. Athlete is a generic advantage that adds +1 to anything athletic. Jess has athlete, so she gets a +1. She's rolling a +3 to your +5. Well, you're going to get a victory. Let's see how far behind Miki falls behind, because she has no athletic potential. Okay. Okay. Now, if I were being mean, I could spend some of the fate points and on her ambition to really get a hold of this story. But let's see. Jess, Miki, Jess, Leah, and Leah, Miki. Okay, so here goes the victory counts. Leah has 1 victory over Jess. Jess has 1 victory over Miki. Leah has 2 victories over Miki because she won with style. Miki is falling way behind. And actually, if you spin that soothing words tag, you can have 2 victories on Jess as well, because you would get to succeed style over her.
Yeah, because then that gives us like a couple turns before Mickey gets to us, right?
Yeah. Basically, Miki's going to be Miki's probably going to be out of this chase the next round. If Leah spins the soothing words tag that you set up for her, then you have 2 victories over Jess.
Okay, that makes sense. And I'd say Leah's kind of trying to circle around a little bit, so she's not like directly chasing Jess. She's just trying to catch up with her and then
at this
get
point,
her to slow down and calm down.
Yeah, at this point, Jess is not so much running from you and William as she's running from the lady she doesn't know with the recorder.
Legit.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so back to Chei. Chei, you're a little bit off balance, and this guy, one of his buddies is unconscious, and he's trying to still take. He kind of shoved at you, didn't do any damage, kind of shoved you off balance. What are you doing?
I want to fall in towards the unbalance and use it as a way to wallop him with a punch.
Okay, give me an agility roll. It's not going to be very difficult because this is only a boost, but that's basically going to be clearing a boost so it doesn't make you affect. Just give me a +2, your agility +2.
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay, that is enough that I'll let you use that as a fate point for you. That agility roll lets you turn that into something that's benefiting you. Now you can roll your unarmed attack, and you can spend that fate point as a note. You spend fate points you can spend fate points after you make the roll, because the roll is in the middle. The roll isn't the end. What you spend, what you decide you're willing to sacrifice is the end. So you might want to save spending it until after you've made your roll, because you might want to re-roll instead of a +2. So go ahead, roll your strength. +1 for unarmed.
Okay, so I'm rolling that.
Okay, you are succeeding with style. You can add the off balance in to get another +2, so that's a 7 over there too.
Yep.
You get shoved off balance, and you just swing in a perfect step and just knock him out. Fluid as anything, he is out. Okay, William, what are you doing?
Lee has caught up with Jess.
Leah's caught up with Jess. Jess hasn't stopped running yet, and Miki's still trailing y'all.
I'm trying to think of something I can do to stop Mickey, because the last thing Jess needs right now is Mickey all over her face.
Yeah.
Can I cast tangible illusions? Like,
that's actually an extra benefit on top, so no. You can do illusions that they think are tangible and try to avoid, but you can't do actual legitimate tangible illusions. The most recent playtest ended up with somebody who had tangible illusions, and they started doing full Green Lantern on me.
oh wow. I want to because I can't do audible illusions, but I can do visual, right? So
you can do audio. You can do audio. Don't worry. You're fine with this. I think you do audio and visual. Let me look. Yeah, that's fine. It is. You can do audio. You're not limited to a specific sense.
Okay, I want to cast a very convincing illusion that a huge fucking dog just happens to be running through like our path and gets between us and her and like turns on her and like just growls and it's super ferocious.
Okay, so this is a two-part thing. First, you're going to activate your illusion ability. That's going to be a difficulty 3 with manipulation. Go ahead. And
Okay.
artist does not come into this yet because this is just activating it.
To see if I can actually get it to go
Yeah.
without, I don't know, some kind of weird muck up.
If you roll under the difficulty, you take a little bit of, I believe it's called, what is it? It's called chakra stress for
Okay.
it says chi on your sheet. It should
Chi?
say
Yeah.
chi is human. Chakra is,
Yeah.
is foxes have chakra. Kitsune have chakra.
Okay. So it's my illusion ability?
Yeah, so you're going to be rolling manipulative because that's the telekinetic.
Okay. All right. Okay. A 1.
So your choice at this point is, at this point you're feeling a little bit of stress. You can take 2 stress. Now note that stress goes away at the end as soon as you have 5 minutes to catch your breath. This isn't a consequence.
Okay.
It isn't actual energy. It's a little bit on the fly, and it's a little bit of a strain to get it immediately.
Okay.
So basically that second O on your stress would be turned into an X. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, I feel like with the stressful situations that would totally is fitting for that to happen, you know?
Yep. Okay. So yeah, each of the different species has their life force called a different thing. Oh, you're right. It is Chi because he's half human. His dominant species is human. So he does have Chi. Okay. I'm a little bit confused. Sorry. My apologies. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, your Chi is a little bit stressed, but you managed the illusion. So now go ahead, and this is where you're going to have the artist thing. Give me craft with illusions.
Wait. So that's 4. Do I have anything? Because I thought I saw something else with illusions on my sheet. I get a +2 rolls to create illusions.
Yes, and
So, I'm sorry?
that's going to be a 4. So yeah,
Okay.
because I'm doing the craft, making it look realistic. And we'll see what the persuasion is real quick. Well, no, we're not going to roll a persuasion. I'm going to make you roll 3 things. We're going to roll in craft. I'm going to see what her willpower is to try to push ahead. So go ahead and roll +4, and you have some aspects you can use, and you still have 3 fate points. So go ahead and roll +4 because craft and your artist illusion.
Okay.
Okay, so right now it's a tie. She's going to hesitate, but she's still going to try to go. You're going to get a boost. It's going to be a boost against her in the race in the contest thing. She's not completely out of the contest, but you are giving a boost against her, so people can reduce her contest roll. Go on.
I'm sorry, I was reading one of the bonuses, but I realized that it doesn't apply. Okay.
Yeah, you can spend a fate point on like Foxfire Images, or Natural to Use My Gifts. Either one of those works, and break it to a full success, and then I'll just pull her out of the fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So I'm going to skip over to the classroom thing and record taking away a fate point. Woo! And back to the chase.
Annabelle's gonna bite your face off. You better go somewhere, ladies.
Okay, so Leah and Jess, another act, because Jess is a little bit still upset. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and roll. She's still kind of on willpower, deciding whether or not she's going to keep running or not. So she's going to roll willpower. What are you going to roll, Leah?
I could go for more of a persuasion kind of thing to try and get her to calm down and come with us.
That works, and I think you have fast talker, so that would go into one of you. That would still be a +2 for you.
Okay, so that gives me a +4 total.
And she's rolling +2. And yes, I am completely aware of the fact that I'm rolling willpower to see whether she stays in a panic state. Okay. So that failure is that she's she's trusting you, especially you. Definitely, you succeed with style. You've got her calmed down enough to sit and talk to you and let the other two catch up, and but is still kind of hyperventilating, kind of pointing. It's like, what was that? And she definitely looks full on like you saw in that picture I show. I don't know if Cho sold it, so I'm going to switch over to the other map for calming down Jess.
Okay.
That's what Jess looks like.
Okay.
Kind of reddish brown hair, and right now she has the full lavender lips and those eyes like that.
Which is not how she normally looks.
It's not how you've known her to look all this time. And she's talking about, I did something back there. What was that? Weird stuff keeps happening. As far as you can tell, she doesn't know her eyes and lips have changed appearances.
I don't know what it was either, but we're gonna help you get to the bottom of this. We're here for you. And maybe some of my friends know more about it than I do.
Have I caught up yet, or am I still trying to catch up?
Okay. So, it's just, I mean, yesterday I looked in the mirror and my eyes were different, and but then it changed back. And I'm, seeing things, and now I think everybody else saw that too. Did you see that? Did you see something? I keep feeling things that I don't think are me. I think it keep like people frustrated. Or upset or happy.
Well, it sounds like it would help if you just, do some breathing, calm down a little bit, and maybe that will help you get a handle on some of this. And I did see something kind of strange, but I mean, we know that there are people with, abilities, and maybe you have some and you just didn't realize it.
You mean like when the people that are on the psych programming, the research projects? I mean, that's only like small number of people in the population, right?
Sure.
Okay, William, you can go ahead and roll a knowledge real quick. This shouldn't be a difficult one.
All right. Would this be +4 because of me being a natural kitsune?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a 3.
A 3. Okay. You think she's probably what would be one of the polite term would be changeling. The impolite term would be cuckoo. they're races that evolved so that they appear completely human until they get to puberty.
Ah, okay.
Most of the sentient races that are around look very human because those are the ones that survived.
Great. Okay, Ian, what is our setting right now? Like, we were running through the fair. Like, are we around a bunch of people at the moment, or have we found a corner to kind of?
I imagine you found a corner where nobody is around right now.
Okay.
You know, you are part of the community. You know, there's a teacher who's part of the community. You know, Jennifer's part of the community.
Okay. How far are we from the swimmers setup?
I'll say it is about, it's not too far, maybe take 10, 15 minutes because the fair is on the school grounds. So it would take you about 30 minutes to cover all of it. End to end. So you're probably somewhere in the middle where there's a jumble of tents. The teacher, by the way, the teacher that you know of is a dryad. They live until they're dead, until they're killed. But she tends to make herself up to look like an old woman, despite looking very young. And she's also one of the scarier teachers. She's very strict.
Okay. Can I roll with the left guy to see if she's nearby?
Go ahead and give me a perception check real quick.
Okay. I think my perception's 2. I think everything's
Actually,
2 for me.
here,
yeah.
If you spend a fate point, I'll just say she's nearby.
Okay, that works. I'm down for that.
Okay. So you're looking for Greta Van Holt.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to actually just real quick share Jess's full sheet with you so you know what, out of character, what you're dealing with.
Okay. Like, it sounds like serious biz already. So.
Sort of. It's just amusing because we're about to have 3 of the prettiest people.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Okay. So I'm totally like, I'm gonna be totally into her, right? Like, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, just so you know, the whole sex demon thing is rumored. They're supposed to have gone extinct 700 years ago, around. So not much is known about them. Out of character, I can say is they latch on to an ideal personality type, and then as they're growing up, they empathically link into people's heads and craft their appearance to look like a merger of everybody's ideal of that personality type. So she looks like everybody's perfect image of the girl next door.
Okay. Well, I mean, as far as curses go, that's pretty diesel.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell Leah, I'm going to say, Leah, look, stay right here. Don't go anywhere. Don't let anybody near her. I'll be right back. I'm going to get somebody help.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. We'll find some place to sit down.
Okay.
Okay.
And
I'm going to go and get that teacher.
Okay. You go and find her name is Mrs. Van Hout, and I'm going to show thing. She is at one of the administration tents, looking her normal, severe self.
Right.
You know, for a fact, she can't be very physically or psychically dangerous because being a dryad, her psychic abilities are crippled, and being a dryad, she can't get that strong. But she's still very scary for some reason.
Okay. But I don't know. I feel like as this character, I probably try to charm her anyway. A lot of times.
Yeah.
Like normally when I'm sorry.
I just did the passive listening thing that you do. I said yeah.
Yeah. So, but when I portray this time, I'm going to have like serious face on, and I'm going to say, Mrs. Van Hout, we
Miss-
really need your help.
Mr. Brasco, what are you here for now?
Look, I know I'm only a jackass, but look, this is important, okay? Somebody's having a
Episode.
growing up.
The term would be episode, or Akira episode if you wanted to go full out.
Okay, but is anybody around to hear it? Because I don't want to broadcast it to too many people.
There are people around because this is the administration tent. You can probably whisper it very easily to get without.
Okay. I just want to make it clear, like I'm trying to keep it on the down low.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's an Akira episode, and it's just, we need to go help her. She's not doing really good with this.
And she kind of stands up. Okay, give me a quick persuasion roll, and I'm going to make you roll this.
Persuade her from this? What?
Yeah, I'm going to actually make you roll this because you have a vulpine cast to your thoughts and you have a reputation for being a bit deceptive. You're going to have to actually persuade her. So I'm going to give you a fate point for it. But yeah. So it is going to be first. It is going to be persuasion. You can roll in striking looks because.
Can I also?
Go on.
Can I also roll in community because I know what's going on and I don't think I would joke about that.
I will let you do that as a fate point spin if you want. I'll hold that off until after you see what the rolls are.
Okay. I got a 5.
And this is
Nice.
this is another one of those cases where a high roll on her empathy means she makes a mistake, which is a really odd way of doing things, but it works. It's like she kind of looks at you for a little bit and kind of pauses. If you want to spin the fate point I gave you for making this complication, you would actually make it a successful style. She's getting a little bit she's kind of believing that you actually think you're being serious. She's not sure how serious you're being yet, but she is definitely convinced enough to follow you. You have a full success. What I will say is that if you spin the fate point I just gave you, you would make it a successful style.
And results-wise, what would that garner though? She's already coming with me.
Nothing much more except for making it flavorful. Some people like to go successful style just for flavor.
I'm good. I've spent some fate, and I would like to keep the one I got. And also, like, she's gonna see what's up as soon as she gets there. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're coming back with her. While that is going on, Leah and Chei, you start noticing that creeper guy from before kind of coming through the crowd and saying, did you see a girl? You can kind of hear him asking people, did you see a demon girl run through here earlier?
Okay, I'm gonna go up to him. I'm gonna go, I think I know who you're talking about. I think she went that way and point to complete opposite end. That's great. Of the field.
Okay.
William would be so proud.
I like the William would be so proud bit there. Okay, go ahead and give me deception and against his empathy. Oh, cats. You are lucky. It's like, that way? Over there? What was it? What was over there? Do you know what?
I don't know. I saw something or someone running over that way. Could have been a demon. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what they look like.
Oh, because that's a successful style, I'm going to say you're directing him towards the haunted house.
Yes.
And just because it's also so good, I'm going to say that's Quincy Hale. She's the one that is a normal human. She has, unfortunately, an abusive home life, but she is an amazing actress. So he's going to go bother the drama club's haunted house and completely annoy the lot of them by traumatizing Quincy.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad for her, but yeah.
No, I don't feel that bad for her.
She has lots of. It'll be in the area where she's at her most confident on stage, and
Exactly.
with lots of friends around. It's not like it's her family. It
He'll
is
just think he's getting really into her performance.
yeah,
Yeah. Right.
but
Nothing's gonna go wrong.
but her friends are very protective of her.
Nothing's gonna go wrong.
So an hour or so an hour, 30 minutes to an hour from now, you hear rumors about some guy that had the police got called on him.
You can't see, but I'm like air fisting right now. Expected.
Okay, which is also good because that was the guy I rolled as the actual antagonist. The other two reporters were so. He was the one that was rolling as the full-out antagonist. And when Torben is the antagonist, kidnapping is a possibility. So, yeah, his worst self is the worst of the three antagonists in some ways, physically speaking.
So I did a good job then.
Yeah, Adrian would ruin your social life because he's very much the conservative type, humiliate you on camera type if he's the antagonist. And Miki would be and Miki is the one that would drive you into depression because she would be the mental threat. But we rolled up Torben as the antagonist. The other two wouldn't go that far. They would notice that they're going too far beforehand in this case because they're got rolled up as reasonable but not great people. Anyway, so you bring along Greta Van Hout to where Jesse is, and Jess is kind of caught. What is Leah doing with Jess at this time? Just what is she doing?
We found an area in the fair where we can sort of sit down and rest in the shade for a bit, maybe in the cafe or something like that, and then or just under a tree or something, and just trying to be understanding, even though she doesn't really know what's going on. Like, I feel like William has a little bit more knowledge on this sort of thing, and I'm sure he's getting somebody to help you out. And, it'll be we'll do whatever we can, and if you need to, talk to somebody, or if you just want to sit here and relax, that'd be fine too. Just trying to be a supportive friend.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying that. Go ahead and give me a quick persuasion. Actually, an empathy roll, because empathy is what is used for treating mental stress. So empathy roll. Unfortunately, fast talk is not going to be involved, but give me an empathy roll.
Okay.
That is enough to successfully start treating her consequences. She has a couple mental consequences that have been building up over the past couple days. Okay. So you've got her nice, calm down and starting to ease up some of her consequences when Miss Van Hout comes in, pauses, and sits down very primly across from Jess, looking at her curiously and considering. It's like, well, this is a surprise. I have not heard of one of your kind, since I was a little girl.
So like the third age?
I'm not quite that old.
Oh, right.
Only the 1300, only the 1400s, dear.
Yeah, every week for a woman, William. Jeez.
Yeah. Leah, by the way, Miss Van Hout just casually admitted to being around 700 years old.
Yeah. It's not something Leah's ever heard of before.
I kind of want to like look at Leah and just kind of give her like a reassuring glance, like it's cool, like don't freak out, I'll get it later.
Yeah.
You know.
At this point, we can consider the scenario to an end. If we the optional bits would be rolling a final contest to see how well the booth did. If you guys want.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
know.
why not?
I suppose, why not?
Okay. So.
We weren't there for half the time, but we were too old for the beginning of the thing.
But you did set up set it up very well. And I assume after this gets done, you can probably get back to doing some of the booth. So we're going to do, each of you is going to roll one contest against a random other booth. And there'll be however many contests you succeed at, that's how many prizes your booth gets. One of them is going to be best booth of fair. The other two can be whatever title you want to make up, like most popular, most money, most balls sold for the guess the number thing, whichever one you want. I'll let every one of you decide which one you want. And if you want, actually, each of you can decide one title, and then we'll do one for best booth. Or if you get all three, I'll just say you got best booth. So
Okay.
what title? Let's go with Leah first, since Scott's portrait is first. What title prize do you want to be contesting for?
What would Leah want? Probably most new members or something like that.
Most new members. Okay. Okay, I'm going to run that against, let's see. I'm going to run that against the Dima's gaming group.
And don't forget, Will already kind of sowed some seeds with the swim group, so maybe that gives us a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and give me, you decide what you want to roll for each stage. What are you going to roll for the first stage of the contest?
I feel like that would probably be the agility for the performance, getting people there, and persuasion for actually talking people to joining, and then maybe resources. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, you decide each round. The first round, what are you going to do? This isn't a challenge, it's a contest.
Oh, okay.
The first, I'm going to make the first round on Dima is going to be a craft. She's going to have tried to program their group has tried to program their own game that they were demonstrating.
Okay.
So she rolled a 4.
Well, Leah would probably lean into the persuasion then.
And that will fall into fast talker because you're making people believe you, so go ahead and roll +4.
Okay.
Okay.
That is a pretty cool game.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool game. Right now, it looks like that game is really pulling ahead. You can let this be a victory in her, and you still have a couple more rounds, or you can spend a fate point on something to try to make this to take it over her.
Okay. I think the closest of anything would be the other sport teams don't think we're athletes, but that would be more likely to come in to play if it was actually another sport booth that we were
and the
competing
cheerleader
with.
and the cheerleader thing. Actually, no, that might be helpful to you because it's less intimidating. Well, the cheerleader's involved. It can't be that dangerous. It can't be that involved. So that might actually be a benefit to you. So I'll let you spin the fate point on that, and that'll give you 1 success. Okay.
Okay.
This time we're going to go into Dima trying to do try and convince people to come in to talk about. She starts going off on a tangent about the different how realistically occult their tabletop games and video games are. So she's going to go try to do knowledge persuasion with +4 using in the name of occultism.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
She knows
I would
absolutely nothing. But she's convincing. What is your...
Okay. I would probably go with our, flashy demonstrations and things and throw in agility, acrobatics stuff.
I'll let you throw in the free runner thing because everybody just saw you do the chase, and you can totally put that off as part of the demonstration. So I'll let you roll agility plus the free runner. So. That's a tie. A tie, something weird happens. Somehow, your chase went through the demonstration went through when you were chasing past Jess, trying to catch up with Jess. You chased through her gaming thing.
Yeah.
So that is
leaving over stuff.
Yeah. So gaming cameo. That is a maneuver you can use next time, or she can use. So next time, if you use it before her, you get to. It's just a matter of you using it first. What's your third round going to be?
I'm not sure what my other best thing would be to convince people to join up with us. Probably either like reasoning for saying, it's smart to learn martial arts and it's a good skill to have, or like empathy for making people think we're nice people to hang around with.
I'll let you do the empathy one, probably, and I'll let you throw in fast talker for that as well. I think it's the same way. But yeah, go ahead. And she is going to pull out her big gun and throw out geek speak to go try to persuade people.
Okay.
Nerd mode activate.
Oh, and you succeed with style. So, and if you want, you can throw in the gaming cameo.
Sure, why not?
You chased through, so a lot of the people that Dima was trying to recruit went. Oh, that was cool. We should join the martial arts club.
Nice. Yes. Nice work.
So the gaming group got the second most new members. Okay, so let's go on to Chei. Chei, what title do you want to go for? It could be anything. Most new members, most money, whatever you want.
Best demonstration.
Yeah.
Best demonstration. Cool.
I mean, I could have used that without any kind of contest anyway, but
I'll put you up against Uriel Washington.
Okay.
He's the empathic jazz musician.
Damn, dude. Really? Might not be an hands down thing after I heard that.
I don't know. I have a few tricks up my sleeve and possible ideas.
Oh, sure. I mean, like, it's not like I'm just saying, like, before I was like, yeah, there's no way anybody was any cooler than us. And then I was like, wait a minute, empathic. Whoa, that sounds kind of trippy.
Yes, I am an evil GM, and I have a large number of NPCs to choose from. Okay, so he is obviously going to choose for his first thing. It's going to be, and there's another copy pasta thing I need to fix, because it says he has a +2 on rolls related to creating illusions, not playing guitar. But anyway, playing guitar, he's going to make a song for playing guitar, so that's going to be a +5. What is Chei going to do?
I think, considering the whole fight thing that he had,
Yes.
he's going to use it as a demonstration of dodging and attacking when necessary in martial arts. So it's kind of that sort of performance in a way.
Okay, you're gonna pull. Okay, it was a real fight too. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll strength.
The demonstration on how to get rid of bullies is very
Add the
Would I be
+1 from unarmed.
Okay, I was trying to figure out which one I would be adding. Let's see, that one.
So
Dang it!
right now he's going to do 2 successes over you. You have 2 fate points. You can spend 1 to make it to where he only has a normal success and doesn't get 2 victories.
I'm going to spend a fate point.
Okay, so Uriel gets 1 success. People are a little bit iffy about you fighting in the middle of the paths as part of your demonstration. What's your second round going to be? Because he's going to actually be performing this time.
There's a thing in some martial arts where they have the wooden planks and the bricks that all stack up and everything that people chop and break and all that. And I feel like it's very weird, but I feel like you'd have some of them like hanging about and you'd be like, as part of demonstration, breaking them.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Do that.
I'm presuming it's strength again, but
It is strength, and unarmed does go in. And that is a normal success. You are now tied. Okay, so third round. This time it is a group thing, and I am actually going to use his empathic capability because he doesn't know he's empathic. His psychic ability is a skill mastery. And I should have been using it because it's a persistent, but I wasn't because I'm nice and wasn't paying attention to my character sheets. But he is going to be using it now with his sensitive, so he's going to roll his empathic. What is Chei doing?
Something that's really coming into my mind is because Chei can't get intimidated that easily and has a resistance to fear.
You want to
He'd probably have. Yeah, I want to do something that includes my fearless in a way, but I don't know what.
you can do the whole iron body thing, and that'll give you a +5 to roll.
Death defying stunts.
The willpower.
Let's do that.
Willpower +2 plus the fearless. So yeah, or endurance plus the fearless. Either one. So you get a +5.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh.
Right now, if you spend your last fate points, you will get a success on him.
Screw it, I'm spending my last one.
Okay, so now you pull ahead because, wow, Chei is just like super tough, and boy, is he ever. I gave you resilient and toughness. Taking you out in a fight is not happening unless a lot of people work together very well. Okay, last. This should be the last one unless a tie happens or Uriel gets a victory. This is going to be endurance on his part because I'm going to make him have to roll endurance because he's playing the entire time. He can't see if he can play the entire time or if he has to hand it over and take a break sometime. Let's see his endurance, and he doesn't get any benefit on this. What are you rolling?
I'm going to roll, and it might be completely weird on why I've done this, but I'm going to roll to do weightlifting with my two other friends. So I have Leah on one side and William on the other, weightlifting.
For people who are seeing the broadcast and are telling me that Chei only has one fate point, and I know not literally anybody's telling me this, but because I don't think anybody's paying attention, I forgot to add a fate point when I gave him one earlier, so he does have two. That's just commentary for anybody watching.
I'm going to do weightlifting with Leah and William.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Okay. And go ahead and do that strength then. +3. That is a tie. I'll give you. We'll have a thing here. Does anybody want to roll maneuver to help him?
Yeah, I said that that I was going to propose when I was lifted to like even make it look even cooler because like I'm looking.
Okay, go ahead. And the cheerleader, you could probably roll acrobats as well to add into that because you are used to being lifted.
Yeah, it's part of my thing.
So go ahead.
The weird thing is, I'm imagining Chei picking up William as part of the lift and William just dabbing.
No. None of that nonsense. What's wrong with dabbing? It's horrible, and young people should feel horrible about it.
I am offended. I am a young person.
Yes, I know. And it's the worst thing.
You said it that way.
Offended?
Okay.
Say that on dabbing. Dab.
Okay, so yeah, Leah is just amazing, a very good cheerleader, and is lifted up no problem. And let's see that persuasion with striking looks on.
Can I throw in like some illusion on that too?
You can either do persuasion. You can either do persuasion or illusion. One of the two.
All right. I'll do persuasion.
Okay.
I am my
Okay.
4.
There you go. Yeah, that's enough to get you 2 maneuvers to add in onto that, and that will get you. If you spin both of those maneuvers, Chei, that will give you success with style.
I will spend both.
Okay, which gives you 4 victories. So that is a really damn awesome demonstration booth. But Uriel's jazz band, I'm guessing, is right across the way from you, and this is probably a very friendly thing. You've been feeding off of their music the entire time, and yeah. Okay,
I just imagine Chei doing the demonstrations to the music.
Yeah. Last one, William. What title are you going for?
Most money.
Most money. You're going to go ahead. I'm going to put you against Chico.
Okay.
There we go. Chico's Pockets versus William's Acumen. And I'm realizing now I should have done this on a different map, but oh well. I have a map that's very fitting to the last part of this scenario that I should have used. Oh well. Anyway, Chico's Pockets and William's Acumen. So the first thing Chico is going to do as soon as I pull up her character sheet is going to be trying to persuade some of the corporate flunkies that she's connected to start getting people to come to her fashion design booth. It's like, Mom, Dad, can you please have some people come and pay attention to me? I want this. Persuasion, +1. So what is William doing the first time?
I'm thinking, like, since I have owning a business, like, that should be part of it somewhere. I mean, like, money in business, right?
Yeah. And that could be knowledge or reasoning would work on that. Financing.
Alright. I mean, like, they're both the same, knowledge and reasoning.
Okay. You do have aiming at business. You have a lot of fate points, and you have I think you have one more fate point than was on that map that I gave you, because I gave you one just a little bit ago. And yeah, you should have 3 fate points, and you can spin them on aiming at business if you don't beat Chico on the roll here.
Okay. So I just need to do like knowledge or reasoning and then like a regular roll, right?
Right.
Okay.
And you can decide to spin the fate point afterwards.
Okay. I got 6.
Holy crud! You are much. You actually know what you're doing. She's pretty much. She has money.
She's relying on connections.
Yeah. So you start off the bat with 2 successes.
I'm gonna beat Kai, just so you guys know.
I like to see you try. I have lunch.
I have tiny fist of fury, so yeah.
That's why.
It's a tiny off. Okay. So I won that one, so then we go to the next challenge.
You go to the next, and Chico is going to go ahead and try to be using her striking looks to make the designs look good. She's not good on craft. She's wearing somebody else's designs, but she is trying.
I don't like this chick.
Unless she's a player and the best parts of her come forward, she is a total tool. She has no identity of her own. She's completely manufactured by her parents.
She's Cordelia, and it just depends on what season you're in.
All right. Well, if she goes going for looks, I'll go for looks too. Let's see who looks better.
It's a clever off.
Yes. Do I even need to roll, really? I mean...
Let's see how badly you beat her, because that is negative organic. People have had enough of Chico.
Enough of her shit. Alright, so it would be, like, persuasion, I guess, would be the basic stat for
Persuasion's the basic for appearance, yes.
Okay. And, like, I have my expert advantages as well.
Yep.
You're rolling a +4.
And go ahead and do first impressionist too, because a lot of this would be first impression.
Oh, so +6.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. That is the roll of the game.
So I would like to explain that the way that this goes down, right, is that Chico is over there modeling her borrowed fashion that she didn't even come up with, trying to look cute, trying to be this and that.
Yeah. What I kind of imagine that she said, "Oh, this looks ugly," and tried to apply her own ideas on what it should look like.
Oh God. But yeah, and I'm like still in the gi, which is just like a uniform, and I do like the runway walk, but I just do it that much better.
I'm just imagining you like making me do the runway walk with the illusionary rhinestones on my tiny gi.
Like, you know what?
You have rhinestones on yours now.
I make you walk with me, like arm in arm. Yeah, and we like do a strut up and down.
And then at the end of the catwalk, instead of doing the turn, you do like a martial arts move.
Yeah, that sounds legit. I'm down with that.
In retrospect, her advantages didn't fit in with this because they're all about using money, and that wouldn't help in this particular instance. I should have taken Yancey. Yancey's the laid-back party boy, expert at planning parties.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that turned out so well. So you guys earned the most money. You had the best demonstration booth, and you had the most new members, and you had the best booth overall and fair. And over the next couple of days, you're going to be working with Jess to figure out her powers.
Can I pour, like, I know this is one job, but I want to pour every last one of my fate points into helping her come to grips with this whole new situation.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Also, I'm taking Lee out for pizza, and I'm going to explain to her what the fuck.
Leah and Chei?
You're very welcome.
Leah and Chei, or just Leah?
No, because Chei's been giving me a stink eye all fucking day. We can say the guy for a little bit.
The thing that Chei's is like, eggs, especially who cares.
Yeah.
She
Just
doesn't
put
give
some
it that.
sparkles on me. You can just go fucking die. I hate your face. Like,
Chei
sorry,
doesn't give it that. Chei's gonna mess up Clinton's life, and that's about it.
nice.
Yeah. Leia's Chei's probably going to go talk to Clinton's mother.
Yes. Super grounded. Great.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope everybody had fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a good time.
Yeah. And this is my slice of life scenario for Divine Blood. Divine Blood is designed to be a little bit right now. The only supplement I have is the slice of life one. I'm going to work on the occult investigation one next. So it's designed to be whatever mood you want, whatever power level you want. I decided this scenario was heavily focused on civilians and people who didn't know much about the supernatural but knew a little bit.
Yeah, I really like the casual part of it. Like, it's not like high stakes really. I mean, like, to the people involved, it probably feels a little bit like high stakes, but generally, like, it's kind of relaxed more than like a lot of our things. And then, but you also have that magic stuff cropping up to make it interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of my other scenarios are more high stakes, if you saw the videos. Yeah. But I like the low stakes, just slice of life, dealing with life things are as much interesting to me as the adventure ones.
Yeah, yeah. And like it's a kind of a nice, just like a nice change up, you know?
Yeah.
And like imagine if things hadn't gone as well with Jess or, you know, or something like that. Like that could have been interesting too.
Yeah. And what it is with sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, or if Chei hadn't beaten the snot out of all the people that we needed them to beat the snot out of.
Yeah. That's one of the great things about having all the pre-gens for this is I have whatever kind of challenge I want to. If you I like giving players the chance to show off their stats. So I have Chei. Chei's in the party, so there has to be a fight somewhere.
Right?
And William's in the party, so there has to be glamour.
And annoying Chei.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we'd wound up being like Chico and Yancy, it would have been, well, we're going to a party.
Yeah.
Who has the dudes?
If it was Chico in the party, she might have fallen in love with Jess or been finding herself very attracted to Jess and not sure what to do with that.
Yeah.
But
So can we assume for our story that Jess adjusts to what they're going through?
yes, definitely you can.
Awesome. I feel really good about that.
Now, what it is out of character with the succubi is they're one of the purged races. Where around 2,000 years ago, the gods and demons were forming a truce, and some went rogue and decided that before the truce happens, they had to go and take care of all these mortals that knew about gods and demons.
Oh boy.
And so some of them gave orders to it was it's 4 demons and 3 gods, so there were 7 of them, to target different groups of people to be eradicated. They thought they were following official rules. Some of them ended up turning in the others, and they all got punished. A couple of them have come out of the prison since then. One of them is now actually the equivalent of a cop for the gods. After spending over 1,000 years in their prison, and the succubi, the ones that survived, were scattered all over the place and taken in as basically slaves and mistreated so much because they're very beautiful and they can control the outcome of pregnancies. So nobles would want them to have so they could produce very strong children.
I imagine, like, back in the day, that was probably, like, way...
Yeah. And the ones that had the psychological damage and ended up going toxic as a result of it ended up giving them the sex demon reputation. But before that all happened, the last one known that was on Earth died sometime around when Greta was a very little girl, before she had eaten the fruit. So she wouldn't have known about it at the time, but she would have learned about it later. And then a large number of these races left Earth for some of the extra dimensional shards and formed their own refuge. Since the 1920s, 1930s, somewhere around there, the U.S. government has been doing basically, it's based off the Stargate thing. They've been exploring the abandoned shards that have been left behind by gods, demons, and sorcerers for who knows how long. And they stumbled upon the nations of the purged peoples that the refuge is. And so they've started to, in employment with the U.S. Navy, they've started to come back into the world. And every once in a while, one gets lost in the shuffle. And because they look human when they're born, they just ended up in the system and got adopted. So that's one of the reasons why there are more supernaturals in the world than are known about, because there's this one secret U.S. military group that's immigrating them.
And like the other supernaturals have no clue about that shit.
Right. The main issue with Divine Blood at the current state is nobody's talking to each other. There's a lot of places where people aren't talking to each other or aren't even aware of each other. Which, if that communication existed, the bad stuff coming down the way wouldn't happen. But yeah. But anyway, that's the situation, and I'm glad everybody had fun, and I hope you have a good night. We're about 20 minutes from the close of the session, and thank you for coming, playing along.
Thanks, it was really fun. Appreciate you running it.
No problem. And after this, I have to check to see when my next session is. I know that the remaining, I have 7 scenarios I'm running. I'm running them each once a week. There's this one. There is 3 more Divine Blood scenarios. One of them is in the 1920s that actually deals with Innsmouth, with the slaughter of the Lemurians, which I shouldn't say because that's a little bit of a spoiler.
You guys do already the other day, so.
Yeah. And one of them is a rescue thing where Amaterasu goes missing in Seattle. The gods and demons reincarnate occasionally, and currently Amaterasu is a middle school student. And so one of the scenarios is there's an earthquake and a storm in Seattle, and you have to go rescue Amaterasu.
Oh.
And the 4th one is actually a make it up as you go along thing, which is a bunch of college students who don't know about the occults, but are a parapsychology group that are investigating a haunted house. And it's designed to be,
That sounds fun.
and it's designed for me to make it anywhere from Scooby-Doo to Stephen King, depending on what the desire is.
Those sound great. Like favorite shoes. I would be down for that.
Yeah. And then the other scenarios I have is 2 Monster of the Week scenarios. One is sort of based off Fate Stay Night, where you have a bunch of people in a particular city competing over artifacts to perform a ritual to seal away a monster or let it out. And
Oh, okay. I was going to say they both want to steal it away. Why are they competing?
yeah. The original intention of the competition was to find the person best suited, but the nature of the demon connected to the ritual has slowly corrupted the order that is in charge of it. They're now wanting to release it.
Oh.
So yeah, and that's part of the setup. I'm doing the one-shot version, so if I did the campaign version, you would have to learn that through the campaign. I'm doing the one-shot version, which skips right to the climax. And then the other Monster of the Week one is just pick somebody from any urban fantasy storyline you want, and we'll stack them out using the playbooks. And you could have Dean Winchester working with Harry Dresden and Saber from Fate Stay Night, all trying to figure out why they've been put in the same place.
Do they know that they're fictional characters in the meta, or
possibly, maybe not? Well, it's like that one's totally make it up as you go along. And the last one is a adventure scenario I've done in D&D a couple times, but I've never done it as a one shot, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thank you all for playing along, and have a good night or good day, depending.
Yes, you too. Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you. It was amazing, but I know sleep.
Go to
Kai.
sleep,
Yeah,
Kai.
go to bed.
Go to sleep.
It's cold.
And I'll post a link up to the Let's Play video. I'll put it in the probably the Vast, or either the Vast or the TBD, either one. I'll put it in the civilian or the Games We Play channels. Talk to you later.
Alrighty, good night.
Stop being broadcast.